describes acts of extreme violence in graphic detail and may include discussions about demonology and the occult, topics that caused widespread panic during the 1980s. This content may not be suitable for children under the age of 50. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the GROGTALK with your hosts, Dan and James.
That's right. All right. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to GROGTALK. I'm James.
I'm Dan.
And so, Dan, we were just talking about this before we went on live. Where are we today? Where are we being broadcast from?
Well, unfortunately, I woke up and we're still in the abyss.
Yes.
You told me we're in the 67th layer of the abyss, something called the Heaving Hills, the realm of Varangoin. As I mentioned to you before the show, I think people are just making this stuff up. I don't. Yeah. What is this? Where does this come from? Who decides this? I don't know, but.
Well, everything's a homebrew. Ultimately, you get back to everything with someone's homebrew, right? I mean,
that's true.
Greyhawk is a homebrew.
Wow.
How's that for a hot take for this morning?
Early controversy.
That's right. It's a homebrew.
You take that back, you jerk.
Notice I don't have Gary's. I should put Gary's picture behind me.
So you should just that picture that we have.
Yeah, just him leering at me.
Yes.
But you were wanting to see, are we even on the 67th layer? Because perhaps we can't escape. Well,
I thought we were going to ask Lolth last episode, 66, if we could leave the abyss. I'm sick of the abyss.
Okay.
I need a tavern. I need a tavern on the prime material. Don't you miss taverns on the prime material plane?
I do.
Right? I would like to ask Lolth. What am I, a first level gnome?
Sure.
Yes. First level gnome, illusionist thief.
Yes.
I got color spray. Watch out.
Hey, maybe. Don't.
Maybe. That's right. Do illusionists have to roll for spells for intelligence just like magic users?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Well.
So I may not only not have.
Oh, you're gone again, Dan. He's frozen. Hold on, you're fading out.
Oh, yeah, and you faded out to me.
Yeah, that's the internet's as usual. Well, they definitely have to roll for knowledge of chance of learning spell, but the book that shall not be named came up with how to roll up their spells. That came later.
Okay, well, how many? So if I'm a first level illusionist, how many? I only get one spell a day, right?
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a d12 to see because I'm going to ask Lolth if we can leave. I'm sick of being in the abyss.
Okay.
I want to go back to the prime material plane. One, I have audible
glamour.
Oh, good, yeah. So that makes a sound, right?
Yeah, but she does have magic resistance, right? I think it's 95%.
So what I can do is I can try to confuse her by making a noise behind her. She turns around and then I run if necessary.
Well, she has magic resistance of 95%, and you're first level. So that means she doesn't. It doesn't even work at all.
There's not even a 1% chance.
No.
It's not like a one saving throw always fails rule.
Not that I'm aware of. If I go back to the glossary, which again you have. If there's anything I took away from this game or the show is the glossary is important.
Basically, what you're saying is there's anything I've added of value.
That's right.
It's the glossary.
The glossary connotation, very good.
You gotta love the glossary because it's just another thing to forget about where there's information. It's basically what it comes down to, isn't it?
Right.
Another thing for players to point out you overlooked.
So on page 228, look, we're already getting to important stuff here. 228 Dungeon Master's Guide. Thus, a magic resistance of 95%, which, by the way, I'm 99% positive that's what Lolth's magic resistance is.
All right. Do you want me to look? I can look that up.
Yeah, you could
She's
do
in, what, 7 books?
Yeah, she's in every book.
All right.
Thus, a magic resistance of 95% means that a 10th level magic user has no possibility of affecting the monster with the spell.
You're right. Okay. Oh, you ready for it? No. I got a shot, maybe. Magic resistance of 70%.
Oh, 70%. Okay.
But still, I'm level 1. Right? And so how does it... It's based off of what level did you say?
It's if the caster is below 11th level, you increase it by 5%.
So I'm 10 below.
Yes. You're a little low.
You'd increase it by 50%?
Right.
So what's 70 plus 50? Is that
more than
that's 90? That's 91, isn't it?
No, it's more than 100. So
we can stop counting at 100. Okay.
Oh, so actually, well, I guess we're going to segue. Once again, folks, if you want to know why this show's 4 hours, it's because we are here to help. And the Master, His Most Majestic Suzerain, Marquise, Insurgent Terror of Bruce County, has said, hey, he's never understood magic resistance. So there you go. We could talk about magic resistance.
Okay, slot that in.
Okay.
That's what we should do. We should just take...
Fan favorites?
Yeah, they should just request. The first person on, they say...
He was the first person.
All right, so we'll go back. So at the end of this, if we have time, we'll do magic resistance. All right, well, I'm asking Lolth.
Okay, yeah, why don't you just ask?
If I can leave. I'm going to roll my charisma.
Okay.
And this is look, I know you think this is just messing around. It's not. Because this is going to indicate whether we leave the abyss.
Right.
Okay.
So are you doing a reaction? Are you doing a what?
Charisma.
You're gonna try to roll under your charisma? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just gonna let you know what my charisma is, so we know.
So then I'm gonna do a reaction roll. Okay, great. I got you.
Okay, I have an 11 charisma. I'm a gnome with an 11 charisma.
Yeah.
There's no adjustments for gnomes, as we know, which is unusual.
Well, it's not unusual because they're derivative. That makes total sense.
You're not suggesting that he's a dwarf.
He should be a dwarf.
I thought you should have said Gary forgot about him. That's
right.
Yeah, I forgot about them. All right. Okay, so I'm coming to Lolth. I'm a first level gnome, religious thief. Your Highness. What did you just do to me? Wait, no.
Power word kill. I'm pretty sure I can do that as a deity.
Oh, really? Wait, can you roll reaction?
Well, I'm going to quote roll reaction, but
okay. Actually,
she had just set up the picture that we saw 2 weeks ago with her Lotus. That's what she's like. One of the Driders.
Oh, that's me. Wait. Oh, you mean what was my shirt?
That's right.
That's gonna be me in a second.
That's
smaller.
Right. Yeah. What was Drider? One Drider just came up. The sacrificial table set up. Oh, we only had a sacrifice. Look at that. And then you show up. So, but no, go roll your what's your charisma? Roll your charisma.
Ma'am, there's a gnome here to see you. Send him in. Perfect. Send him in.
I can't really see that.
I'm all excited. Really? Yes. Go right on in.
That's it.
This is awesome. I'm so excited. I'm an 11.
11. I don't think you get
not bad for gnomes.
It's not bad. Well, yes. So you do not get a reaction bonus if I remember correctly.
I do not think I do.
All right.
But I don't get a penalty.
You don't get a penalty. That's sometimes okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll for you.
Where is the reaction bonus? It's in the DMG.
DMG.
It's in a couple places. Is it in the back too? I can't remember.
It may be, but it's usually right just before the page 63.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 59.
That's just kind of, I don't know if that's gonna.
Uncertain, but 55% prone towards positive.
Oh. Now, you like to play that where, we've talked about this before, you think you roll that again then, which makes this so bizarre to me. I'm not saying the way you play it is bizarre. That seems to be accurate, but it seems a bizarre way to, it's just more rolling.
Yeah, well, that's what we love. It's rolling. 52, so uncertain, but prone towards positive.
What does that mean?
Well, to me, it means as opposed to going on the sacrificial table, which is what the default reaction would have been, she's going to allow you to continue down the abyss.
To not die.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
It all depends
right.
on the spectrum of the reaction. I mean, yes, as a player, this is a good key point of between the player's expectations and the DM's expectation. The player's like, oh, positive reaction. She's going to give me a ring of 3 wishes and, all this other stuff. Whereas the DM goes, this is a deity in her plane. Why would she, a favorable reaction is not eternal torment.
Right. Not that Errol Otis drawing.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Parenthetically positive. So you met Lolth. That's the way you should look at it. It's kind of like.
Oh yeah, get a T-shirt like I met Lolth and lived.
That's right. Unlike the Demogorgon one where you're killed instantly. That's right.
Yeah. I should get a picture. My gnome should get a picture with that Errol Otis drawing and an arrow saying "Not me."
Not me.
That's awesome.
He's by the torturer, the guy who's the drow that's the killer. She's their thumbs up. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
You didn't die.
Oh, you know what I should get you for Christmas? I'm not actually going to because it would be too expensive. But an Errol Otis drawing, but it's a gnome being sacrificed. You'd like that.
Oh, that would be in a place of. I may replace some of my pictures of my family downstairs and have that there.
The wall at the stairs.
That's right. All the pictures of. Wasn't my childhood picture there? Yeah, but this is way better. So,
yeah. All right.
Well, very good. So we're on the 67th layer of.
Oh, we're never getting off.
No, not at this point.
All right.
So let's go through the announcements. So we have some really interesting announcements. We know GROGTALK is delayed till next year.
That's not interesting.
That's not interesting. What is interesting is DM Brian, the Captain General, who is online, is next week hosting pretty much, he or a couple of his friends, our friends, Ed and Randall, are hosting games every day, actually starting yesterday through the 6th or 7th. So if you want to play AD&D, first edition, or an old school D&D game between now and the 6th or 7th, go to our Discord, which is in the links below, and look under news or general, or actually game planning, it's under there, and sign up for a game. So Brian's ready. So I'm going to try to play at least one of the events. A lot of them are during the day, so unfortunately I have this pesky thing called work. But there are evening games as well. So thank you to him for setting that up.
It's like a telethon.
Right. It's right.
We should have a telethon where we just continually play like 48 straight hours, and we'd bring in different DMs to help out. And
that's right. Yeah, we could just run the thing, and like Jerry Lewis would come back and forth and let someone. All right, Brian, great job. Who do we got now? Who's the next DM? I love it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. The GROGTALK telethon.
With those, my understanding is they figure out how much they're going to make before the telethon even starts. So it's like, all right, let's look at the big board. $5.
Yeah, we should have a patron. We should have a patron. Yeah, we should do that. We need to make money for ourselves. Right. We should have a grog. Are you writing that down? Why aren't you writing this down?
I'm trying to type. Yes,
No. Our spouses would kill. I just want to say our parents. I'm back to being the 13
again. Well, they are
our
our parents in many ways.
Our parents would kill us.
They are our parents.
Our spouses would kill us. We're doing a
GROGTALK.
The GROGTALK. Some people may show up in running outfits, though.
Well, if they see us, see me, they're like, "Whoa." Clearly, that's not what we're trying to do. That's right. Okay, they're in for the telethon, the GROGTALK.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what the record is. Is there still a Guinness Book of World Records?
Yes.
Is that still happening? There is. It's still happening. I wonder what the Guinness Book of World. Is there a record for longest running? I don't mean like Jay Scott's kind of game where he's been running his group for 30 years.
For one session. A session.
Yeah, I think he's taken some breaks, is my understanding. Like it hasn't literally been. Not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But yeah, I wonder what the longest game is. And that would be, maybe we could set the world record.
I'd like that. That'd be awesome.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure that when you say that, you mean you want me to set that up. So okay, great. Well, I'll put that.
Yeah, actually, just would you handle that, please?
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
We could do the GDQ, right? That's a lot of stuff there.
That's a lot of sessions. Well, if they survive, or they could die, and then that would be a short telethon.
Can you start with A and add it to G, like somehow? Link it?
What did you say? Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, you can.
Well,
Easy.
that's
AGDQ?
yes, that's what they did. Night of the Gnome Death. I like that too. Yes, you could. Yes. Well, what they did later with all these modules, they made it to a mega campaign. They started with Temple of Elemental Evil against the Slave Lords, and then against the Giants. That's the.
Oh, that's what we should do for the Grogathon.
Okay.
And we just go, and it'd be like, my gosh, that would be like a month.
No, not a month. That would be a year and a half, 2 years.
Of nonstop play?
Yes, because you're going from Village of Hamlet to the Temple of Elemental Evil. And if you've read the Temple of Elemental Evil, that's a train wreck. Then you go into the Slave Lords, which is probably 10 or 15 sessions. Then it's about 10 or 15 sessions for the G series. The D series is another 10 sessions, and the Q series is probably 2 or 3 at least if they survive. So yeah, you've got, I don't know, 40, 50 sessions at 6 hours. That's 300 hours of gaming.
Wow, this can be quite a telethon.
It would be.
Okay.
We'd have to get some we'll get some sponsors. So yep, looks.
Good luck with that.
Well, like those energy drinks, right? Don't the gamers get Monster or whoever's the...
Oh, no, it would have to be like Mountain Dew and Doritos. We'd have to get them as sponsors, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's got to be old school.
Right, it has to be old school.
Shasta.
And smokes. We'd have to start smoking again.
And smoking, absolutely. And we need rotary phones for people to be answering. Can you see like Vic Dorso and Carlos Lysing and like...
Sorry, Earl.
Well, maybe
Ernie, Earl. That's right. Skip Williams. They're all there.
Right. They're manning the call-in bank or whatever.
Make a saving throw. No, you owe us $20. That's right. That's exactly.
Yeah.
I like it. People have to roll how much they're giving.
Yes. Exactly.
D100. That'll get them going. So, I don't know how we got to that. But anyway, thanks to Brian for getting this going. And Josh is also out there, and I think Ed's starting a game. If I'm missing someone, Brian, just put it... Oh, yeah, so Menyon said it took 15 sessions to finish Hamlet. That's just... So, yeah.
Man, those players spent way too much time in the village. Didn't they know? They're just...
Right.
It's like... At a certain point, the village, any village in D&D, you're just trying to get to the outskirts. There's some ruins. Like, where are the ruins?
That's right.
Right? Where's the haunted temple? Whatever.
I'm searching for the floorboards 2 hours later. That's right.
Right? Just get me to the rumor table. Find me the inn, roll on the rumor table, and I'm off.
Well, and that's what's interesting. I think with Hamlet, the issue is that there is really no hint on the moat house. You have to kind of figure that out later. It's a little hard to get there. So I'm not surprised it took them a while, but 15 sessions, ooh, that's a while. So let's talk about giveaways. So next month, our first 2 weeks from now, we're going to give away. I'm thinking giving away either. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give people the choice. Either a groggy or Keep It Blood Red Falls. You must be a patron of any tier by August 31st. We have 2 new patrons, by the way. And one of them will be giving a title at that show. So if you would like to have a chance to win the groggy or the Keep It Blood Red Falls, be a patron by August 31st. And then we will randomly determine who won it on the show. And then we'll send you a note, and you can pick between a groggy or a mini groggy or the Keep It Blood Falls module from Angry Dwarf Games, aka Vic Dorso. Super fun. And we do that thanks to our patrons. So we'll do a heraldry next time. Swedish Challenge, we are now in Belgium, by the way.
Really?
Yes, we're in Belgium. How about that? We were doing really well, and then we weren't doing so well.
Wait, how do people I guess they just, they understand English. I mean, it's not, right?
It's the lingua franca of the world, so, you know.
Yeah. Because that also surprised me. We do so well in Mexico, but,
Well, because most people are not like Americans who are proud with their mono language.
Right.
they realize they want to be educated, whereas we go, seems like a lot of work. I'll just stick with English.
Yeah, for us, it's just like a high school or college requirement.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of. You're angry about, why do I have to learn? Why is this a requirement? Okay, so in Belgium, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to our fan, open paren, ask close paren, in Belgium.
It has to be at least one, more than one. But okay, I'll go with that. So, an iTunes reviews. Old School Goodness, or is it Lawful Neutral? This is the title. The podcast covers AD&D, first edition, pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. All right. Talk about rules, adventures, supplements, and other related topics and images from the early years of AD&D that many of us have experienced with authenticity. Yeah, I experienced those early years as well, playing in the random basement with hodgepodge groups before donning my own Dungeon Master's cloak with my own early group back in the day. The banter experience on this podcast is 100% legit. We are dope. We are 100% pure. Raising a wine glass or ale tankard in the local inn tavern to it. Still playing to this day. Keep up the good work. Raging DM. How about that?
Thank you, Raging DM. I will
put up your orange juice.
My orange juice. Yes, thank you, Raging DM. We appreciate that. We're having fun.
Yeah. So if you want your iTunes reviews pronounced to us here, we appreciate it. That's how more people find us. Go out to iTunes. We're also on Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those things. So,
would it be a scandal if we gave out heraldries also for good reviews?
Yes, that would. No, we're not going to do that.
Okay, got it. I'm just asking because I'm lawful neutral. I just want to make. I didn't know if it was law. I'm lawful neutral.
Right.
So I don't care. As long as it's lawful, I'm fine with it.
Well, but you're also greedy, and that devalues the heraldry if we do that, which we have to be very careful with.
Got it.
It is for tax purposes, we don't get anything back for it, but for the purposes of wanting a title, people have to pay us for that. Basically, that was your rule. I mean,
Really? Pay for the title probably was. I have no memory. I don't doubt it for a second. But we're a good combo because you bring the good side, I bring the lawful side.
Yes.
We kind of so half the time we could be chaotic neutral.
We would be. We would be chaotic neutral if it wasn't for. That's why we're like chocolate and peanut butter. We're better together. So there you go. With that, so it's that. Speaking of better together, we want to announce a new initiative that we are doing. We are working on and announcing the soon to be published. Well, maybe not soon to be published, but published ezine. Well, Rob, the Brandywine, the Chamberlain of Brandywine, who's online, has graciously taken the challenge of becoming the editor of our new ezine, which I think the title is Flipping and Turning. Is that fair?
That is my understanding. That is the title. So thank you so much to him for taking on the role of Tim Kask.
That's right. He is the Tim Kask in this event. He's not the Jeff Jaquette. Who's the guy who came after?
Jake Jaquette.
That's right. He is the original. He would be the first.
He is. And so he needs your help.
That's right.
We need help from our listeners contributing. And what we're going to have, so things like, I'm sure magic items, right?
Yes. You don't remember the meeting, do you?
I don't remember
That's
the meeting.
Okay.
When was it?
It was sometime after my house got electrified, and I'm still paying for it.
That's why I was so concerned about you. I felt bad for you.
I appreciate it.
Really
so we are currently looking at a quarterly release periodical. It will be a fan-driven magazine, and if you want to submit articles, it is editor@grogcon.com. Submit or if you have questions or ideas, send that to editor@grogcon.com. I will be providing an article. Dan will be providing an article. So it's just another forum for us to continue to work together and do fun things. So, of course, my article submission, I'll have a regular column called Rules AF. So, because they are rules. And Dan, I'm not sure which one you volunteered yet for.
Well, I think I might be doing parenthetical evil.
Oh, parenthetical evil. That's right.
Right, is highlighting monsters that are parenthetical evil. So, like the rat.
Right. That's right.
Giant rat.
The Sumerian, whatever it's called, rat. Exactly.
Right. So.
Why is it a Sumerian or whatever it says? I don't.
Well, I guess I got to figure that out.
Right. You better figure that out. So
Right.
if you have some ideas, we also are very fortunate. It looks like we may have a couple of artists to help illustrate some of this. So it should be super cool. It'll be, I think, initially for patrons, and then we would release it to the public because, again, it's just give us a throwback to the old days. So very looking forward to flipping and turning. Thanks again to Rob. If you have ideas or submissions, editor@grogcon.com. Also, again, on the Discord, we have our channel dedicated to that. So if you want to talk about it, go out to our Discord channel. Did I mention Discord? Discord. So, okay, excellent. Are we ready for random encounter?
We are ready. What happened to this? So we've got the Shadow Mastiff is still the champ, as I see here.
That's my understanding.
And
after 10 rounds with the Goblin. Remember, the Goblin survived for a long time.
I was very disappointed. What happened to Snake Eyes? Was he killed by the Mastiff?
Yes.
The snake?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That was well, I don't know, it felt like a long time ago.
I thought the snake was still the champ. All right, let's do it. So it's the Dorso roll?
Yes.
Okay. It's a 3.
So that's Fiend Folio, which they're having a nice conversation about. Why, maybe you know, Dan. So
Yes.
all the newer books, circa 83 and above, got reprinted. Obviously, this never got reprinted because it was already in the orange spine thingy.
Yeah.
But this book, so the Monster Manual was changed, the Player's Handbook was changed, the DMG was changed, updated with the easily cover or the orange back. Why this book wasn't? Even the Deities and Demigods became the Legends and Lore one. So do you know why this book was never made into an orange backy thing?
I do not. No, that's interesting. No, sorry.
So, okay, that's great. That was compelling. Good stuff.
That's like some of our interviews. No. All right, so I need you to roll, sir, a D10.
D10, got it. 10.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you.
You know what that is? You probably guessed.
Astral plane.
Astral and ethereal encounter table. Yeah. So, I need you to roll now to see if we're in the astral or ethereal. So you might as well just D6 anything.
All right, D6. 1 to 3 astral, 4 to 6 ethereal. We're in the astral, which makes sense since we're on the outer planes.
Now, I know you've told me this a million times. So that's like the superhighway.
That's right.
It's the interstate.
That's right. It's the interstate. It's the highway to hell, or in this case, the highway to the abyss.
So it is so it's like everything, right? It's to the prime. So I take the astral. Let's say I want to go to the negative material plane. I don't know why I'd want to, but
from where?
From the prime material.
Then you don't need the astral.
Oh, I don't.
Right. So if there's a blob of the inner planes, and then there's the superhighway that goes to the outer planes.
So it's only to the outer planes.
That's
so
right.
this way to the outer planes.
Right. Exactly.
So if I'd taken a wrong turn and I got on the astral plane, that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
If I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you'd be going places you probably don't want to go. Or, well, that's interesting because again, if you take it literally, and if you're if you follow your alignment, that's the place you want to go because all your people are there. It's that idea. What's that, like the Blind Melon song? You find all the bumblebee people. That's, if you're lawful good, you want to go to the seventh heavens. You want to find the astral plane.
Early?
Well, but that's it. Well, you're obviously not a zealot for that, so that's,
Sorry, I'm going to grab. I got freaking kittens everywhere. They're all over me.
It's like tribbles. I mean...
It's a new... It is. Yeah, the trouble with tribbles or whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right, so now roll... All right, so I'm headed to the astral. So what are the inner planes? And what are the outer planes? Sigh. Well,
okay. No, I'm not mad. I'm good. This is our show. This is what's great about our show, is we can talk about whatever we want to talk
I got
about.
it. I'm in the DMG. Oh, there it is, figure 1. I'm on page 113 of the DMG. The inner planes for the positive material, the negative material. Oh, so you always hear about the negative material plane. So the negative is the negative material plane. Was that where the undead?
Well,
energy comes?
that's right. That's where the undead energy comes from.
Oh, so they're not quite. The reason they're in the inner plane is because they're not quite dead yet. So they're kind of still in the inner plane.
Not quite dead yet. Well,
Is that right?
I'm sure there's a better explanation. The idea is because they life drain, that's where their power to life drain is the sink, the energy sink is from the negative plane. They have a connection to it.
Okay, so you've got.
Now, which page are you on?
I'm on page 113 of Deities and Demigods.
Oh, okay, good. You're on that's why I thought you said DMG. Yes, I'm on.
I probably did say DMG.
Yeah, 113, 114, 115 of Deities and Demigods, or as we like to call it, the old Legends and Lore.
Right. So the prime material plane has. Oh, I see. So there's a bunch of galaxies and all that. That's just like that would be like what we think of as our universe.
Correct.
So in other words, so in D&D, there's not just a single prime material plane.
Well,
you could have like all sorts of planets, and that's all considered the prime material plane.
That's exactly right. The prime material plane is considered the multiverse.
Oh, okay. And so the positive material plane, is that where goodness comes from?
No.
I'm assuming. Oh no. What's the positive?
It's the power supply for good, but it's not. That is now you're giving a meta question. Is it the source of goodness? It's like the energy for goodness comes from that, because it says here it's a power supply for good, but it really it's basically the life force area.
Oh yeah, and apparently you don't want to go there, because I'm reading this positive material plane. You'd probably be instantly consumed.
Right. It's like going into a nuclear power plant or whatever. That's it. You're done.
It's like the end of what was Slim Pickens? Was he riding the Dr. Strangelove? He rides the bomb down.
Exactly.
Okay, and so the negative material plane is the source of negative, antimatter negative force. Yeah, and so you don't want to go there either. Then what's the element? Oh, in the elemental planes, that's the source of the air or air, earth.
Right.
Hey, is that a band? Air, earth, fire, and water.
Close. Earth, wind, and fire.
So if I went earth, wind, and fire. So if I went there, I mean, I would just be like the plane of fire. I'd just be consumed.
No, the city of brass is on the. It depends
Really?
where. Yeah, that's the whole DMG cover. The whole back of the DMG cover is the city of brass.
I did not know that's on the elemental plane of fire. Well, that's very cool.
If I remember correctly, that's what the explanation is in the cover.
All right. Well, we should do that's not what this episode is about. So I got it. And then I go.
Yes.
So the outer
on page
plane,
2 of the DMG, it says cover. This shows 3 adventures in Freet on the elemental plane of fire, the fabled city of brass.
So the outer planes, that's where you go when you die.
Yes.
Got it.
But,
And
but I did learn something, because again, I always thought the positive and negative were just, like a battery, the negative and positive poles.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But this says, which is interesting, this is why we work on this, that the positive is the source of good, it's the energy source of goodness, and the negative is the energy area of evil, which again, that's pretty cool. I did not know that.
So no one's really going there. You're not you're not going on vacation, because you're being consumed. So no one's.
Right.
Don't go there. Okay.
Well,
got it.
There is a book which came post our time, which I would show you. It's not a book that shall not be named. It's called The Manual of the Planes, which explains some of this. But it came way later. That's like 1.79, 1.8 AD&D.
Okay. And what's the point of the elemental planes? What do they do? I mean, I know there's stuff there, which I didn't realize. It's possible to actually physically move from one elemental plane to another.
Mm-hmm.
Home of many different elemental creatures.
Mm-hmm.
They can travel to the primary material plane. There's probably more traffic between the primary material plane and the elemental planes than between any others.
Mm-hmm.
Direct travel. Oh, so there's like a constant coming and going?
Sure.
what is the point of them though?
Well, the point of them, the cosmology of this is that the elemental planes and the positive and negative, they're the sources of what's in the prime material plane. You need goodness and light. You need darkness.
Right.
You
Got
need
that.
earth. Because again, back to the Greek, if I remember correctly, it's all the Greek. The elements were earth, fire, water.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, earth, wind, and fire, and water.
he was removed from the band early.
That's right. And those were considered the elements. You know, a more modern version, there would be whatever 160 elemental planes. The plane of carbon, the plane of sulfur, the plane of xenon. That's where I want to go. The plane of xenon, argon.
Not Xena. Okay, and there's actually and there's a plane of shadow.
Yes. Oh yeah. And there's power planes. See the power planes?
Okay. All right.
Because it was just never enough. People homebrewed more planes.
Okay, so we're on the high. So yeah, so we're on the high. We are on the highway to hell.
Yes.
Okay,
Or heaven,
cool.
depending on which one you go to.
Stairway to heaven or highway to hell.
Exactly.
Or wherever. Okay, got it. All right. That helps. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for.
Slowly, I think it starts. I think it's starting to sink in.
It will sink in for the rest of the day, and then it will fall gone. Boop, boop, boop.
And the next episode, we'll randomly roll for astral. I'm like, what's the astral plane?
And what is
right.
this astral plane that you speak of? So we're going to use the
Astral encounter table.
well, it's also, this is fascinating. I've never read this, but this is super cool. On page 118. If for some reason it becomes necessary to choose a plane of existence at random, here's the tables that you could use. I love it. Thanks, Jim.
Oh. There's okay.
So it's good to know. If you're like, I just popped up on a plane, I think the manual of the planes or the amulet of the planes gives you how to get, because you select where you want to go, but maybe you need to go to a random plane of existence. Boom.
Ring of random plane.
The ring of, yes, also known as instant death for the most people.
Please, not negative material. Please, not negative material.
Exactly.
The last thing I saw was like a bunch of skeletons.
Yeah, skeletons are your least of your problem.
Right. All right, you're rolling a percentile, sir.
Yes, percentile. Okay. 56.
A kirin.
Really?
They're nice, aren't they?
They're friendly. Yes, they will not like our friend the Shadow Demon, Shadow Mastiff.
Oh, this is the good versus evil battle.
Yes. So what page is that on?
Okay.
I'm not going to look it up because
Thank you.
You're the challenger.
57.
Okay. So
I think it's a great. So there's two illustrations. Sadly, since the kirin is, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Good aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's not eating a character,
Right.
Player character. Okay. Frequency of the kirin.
I'm going to say very rare.
You are correct, sir, which is surprising that we've encountered it. Number appearing?
1 to 2?
1. Now, I want to look back at the random roll because I want to see if that lines up. I thought it may have said, just 1. So there's consistency there. Oh, this is ridiculous. AC?
-3?
Wow, you're close. -5.
Okay.
This thing's gonna. It's the new winner. Movement is ridiculous.
36?
24/48.
Oh, wow. Okay, I've got between them.
You're doing well. Hit dice.
Oh, it's like 9 hit dice or something like that? I don't know. 12 hit dice, okay.
Yeah, percent and lair. Oh, this is interesting. Only 5%. I don't even know what a kirin's lair is, but it's not there often.
You're going to read it, I guess.
Okay, how many attacks?
Oh, 2?
3. Not that many good creatures seem. I don't know why I say this. Have claw bite. I guess it's a claw or hoof bite. 2 to 8, 2 to 8, 3 to 18. It's got magic use. Special defense says see below. Magic. Here you go. Magic resistance, 90%. Super genius intelligence. What number is that on the?
Super genius. That's like 19, isn't it? I think.
Let's see. 19 to 20.
Yeah.
Alignment.
Genius.
Lawful good, large. Oh, it's a psionic ability. I'd hate to have to use it then. The kirin are a race. I know nothing about the
I
kirin.
know, this is why this was good.
Okay, do you know, have you ever dealt with a kirin in a game?
I feel like I have.
Okay. Your character had one as a pet when you were, what, 73rd level? Back in the day?
Well, we're going to talk about Dragon 40, where they're talking about people who have level 52 characters, which I thought was interesting.
Yep. Yep. Len Lakofka getting in trouble there. So it was. So yeah, you're paladin. You know, there's players out there, right? Back in the day,
they were riding a kirin, exactly, kirin.
Oh, is it? See, I said kirin. Is it a
no, it's kirin. I think that's kirin.
We don't know.
I think you're right.
Drow. We don't know any of this.
It's all made up, sir.
Well, or is it based on something? Okay, so I'm going to say kirin. I don't know. The kirin are a race of aerial creatures whose hooves rarely touch the earth, for they dwell amongst the clouds and behind the winds. So you could be sitting there, and you're like, what the heck is that?
Right.
It's like, oh, you're like, that's a kirin, dude. That'd be pretty awesome. You see a kirin.
The signs of the kirin.
Depends on your alignment, whether it would be cool.
That's a new song. That sounds like a Rush song. The signs.
That's our album. Yeah. Signs. Yeah, but it's not. It would be like a very. Oh well, so that's the first album of, what was it? Air, wind.
Oh, air, wind,
earth, wind, fire, and air.
Earth, wind, fire, and air. No water.
or the elemental planes, or is that the album of the band? Or the elemental planes? Okay, moving on.
P. So Menyon, hello Menyon. He says it's kirin. So there you go. As a
kirin.
P, but well, I'm sure they'll. So.
Well, he's British, isn't he?
He is, but he lives in Japan.
I know, but so would he'd have a British pronunciation to it, wouldn't he?
That's probably true. This is the best you're getting from me. I'm just saying. He said it's key as in P.
We're Southern Americans. The kirin.
Kirin. Well, I'm from New York. I'm a Sesame Street American. I grew up in New York, but when I get around New Yorkers, then it's back to coffee and chocolate and that kind of thing. So
kirin. The kirin.
The kirin, yo.
Yo, kirin.
Don't mess with that kirin, all right?
The Karen.
The Karen. Yo, Karen. Hey, Karen.
I'm gonna get my Karen. What? My Karen.
I want to speak to your manager. That's right.
Oh, do you mean your kirin? Okay. The females are never encountered.
Yeah.
And what was it? Kirin, did he say? Or kirin? I'm sorry, I've already forgotten.
Kirin.
What is it?
He says it's
kirin.
Key like P, so kirin.
Kirin pie. And kirin are always solitary. They can't always be solitary, can they?
Well,
always?
Well, apparently.
There's females.
There are females.
Always? Okay.
Maybe they're like pandas. It's only once, yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen, there's no footage, is there, of them mating?
The kirin matings. That's mating of the kirin.
They sometimes aid humans if properly abjured, or the need to combat evil.
What is an abjure? Does that mean supplicated to?
I don't know. What is abjure? What's an abjuration?
I don't know. Is that the same word? We're so ignorant.
That's what makes the show good. There's a lot of learning. They sometimes travel the
Well, that's solemnly renounce. I don't know, a belief, a claim, or.
We have to abjure. Isn't that to give up?
Yeah, that's what it says. It says renounce.
But it's like all these words have like the opposite meaning too. You go down, and it means the exact opposite. Right. All. If properly abjured. The attack of a kirin can take the form of 2 powerful hoof blows and a thrust with a magically sharp. You got to be kidding me! Their horn is +3. They're 12 hit dice. They get 3 attacks, and their horn is +3 horn, much resembling that of a unicorn. Was the kirin basically created by Gary to kill off evil characters, player characters?
I love it. Yeah, kill them.
It can also attack in other ways. Kirin are able to employ spells of all levels at 18th level quality.
Right. Yeah. This is a problem. This is a problem for the Shadow, whatever his name is.
It's ridiculous. 9 of the first, 8 of the second, 7 of the third, 6 of the fourth, 5th of the fifth, 4 of the sixth, 3 of the seventh, 2 of the eighth, and 1 of the ninth during any given day. They also command 4 major and 6 minor psionic disciplines, operating at 9th level of mastery in all, kirin can, once per day, do each of the following. Create nutritious food for 2 to 24 persons. Create drinkable beverages. I just feel like the word beverage doesn't belong in D&D. Would you agree
Beverage.
with that?
Beverage, yeah.
It's like my knights say I'd like a beverage.
Yeah, no.
No. For 2 to 24 persons, create soft goods or wooden items which are permanent. I'm getting tired just reading this. Create metal items of relatively short lifespan of up to 2,000 gold pieces weight. Create an illusion with audio-visual and olfactory components which last without concentration, don't magically dispel their touch in disbelief. I'm breathless. Assume gaseous form, wind walk, call lightning, and summon weather. But no, wait, there's more. When a kirin conjures things of the sky or which involve air, the creature or magic is at twice normal strength, including hit points and damage inflicted. Kirin speak their own tongue, but with their special telepathic speaking ability, they're able to converse with virtually any living thing. I've got to play this thing? It's too hard. It's like playing an 18th level magic user.
See, this is, and if we back to last week, do you see, this is from the back of the Rogues Gallery. There he is.
Oh, there it is.
Because
it's attacking. What is it attacking? What is
that's a
that?
lich.
What's next? And the lich is probably scared.
Well, they're pretty equal. I mean, they're pretty tough. This another Earl Otis picture, by the way.
So the kirin is like the anti-lich, the good lich. Is there a good lich? Okay.
The good lich of the north, yeah.
Good lich. Okay. Kirin. Wait, I'm sorry. I forgot again. What is it? Kirin.
Well,
Kirin.
per minion,
No,
it's key.
wait.
Per others, I see you going back and forth.
Oh, really?
Well, by the way, Rob, I was just thinking this. Rob's like, I thought you complained about these multi-paragraph things in the Fiend Folio Monster Manual. This one's pretty lengthy, too.
It's long. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Kirin conjures... Okay, I'm sorry. We're on description. God, I don't want to read it twice. The code of the kirin is luminous gold. Well, that's nice. Much as a sunrise on a clear day. Oh, so you're standing there and it's reflecting. You see like this gold reflecting light streaking across the sky. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Its mane and tail are darker gold. Its horn and hooves are golden pink. Its eyes are violet. Oh, okay. The skin of this creature is... this is horrible. Why would they say this? Gary, the skin of this creature is worth 25,000 gold pieces if it's perfectly intact. So, am I hoping to find one dead or
kill it in a way that
neutral.
Right,
killing? Yeah, that's awful.
So this is always bad when you roll this because then you have the challenge of now you have to figure all this stuff out. So the good news is, it just always reminds me of the Rogues Gallery. They had a pre-generated kirin in here.
Oh, really?
Yes, on page 35. So that's...
Why do I need that? That's a rogue?
The Rogues Gallery, this is...
I know, but it's like, wow, okay, that's very useful. Does that have a name?
Kirin. Bob the kirin.
Bob the kirin. Kirin the kirin. Karen the kirin. Females, very rare. All right, Karen the kirin. Okay. All right.
So in this one, he has Wish, Powered Blind, Otto's Irresistible Dance, Limited Wish, Charm Plants, Cone of Cold twice. Yeah, he's got some spells.
Well, I'm going to make you do the dance first. That's my first. I'm just going to play with you.
That's not. Doesn't sound very good to have you torture. Yeah.
Torture. I immediately revert to typical player personality.
I'm this
right?
avatar of goodness. Dance for me, you little evil peasant. Yes.
I'm going to ask you to renounce your evil ways. I probably ain't going to. Now, I guess I should just kill you real quick. All right. That would be the lawful good thing to do.
Well, he's neutral parenthetical evil, too, so...
Oh, the Mastiff is?
Yes.
Oh, well...
All right, so are we ready for surprise? Are we ready for surprise?
We are. Let's do it.
Well, first we have to figure out what light we're in, so roll a d8 for me. Because I'm gonna do a -1 now because...
Well, we're in the... Yeah.
Because he's a light guy, right? So even though we're on this plane, and I'm not sure how he got on this plane...
I like the light. Well... Oh, what am I doing there? I'm in the abyss.
Yeah. Well,
Whoa.
you're on the astral plane, but you've connected to the 67th layer of the abyss, which is interesting as well. There
So I'm just
must
gonna,
be an
like,
astral portal on this 67th plane of whatever we're on. What was the name of this place again?
Oh, I don't know. But so I'm just gonna like poke through with my horn and
Yeah.
stab you in the
heaving
buttock.
hills. The hills are alive with kirin.
All right.
The hills are alive with the sound of kirin.
Roll the 1, sir.
1.
On the light roll.
It's bright light.
Wow, I'm dazzling.
Yeah, you're dazzling, which causes, of course, for the Shadow Mastiff, that's a problem.
Oh, this is getting horrible.
Yeah, because now he
The
gets -1 dice and bright light. So,
Kirin's never gonna lose.
we said that before. We had ancient red dragons. We've had Tarasques, and somehow they.
We need to bring back the Tarrasque. We did roll a Tarrasque, didn't we?
Yes.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
We need a Tarrasque.
All right.
All right. Fine.
So let's do surprise. I don't know how. Do you have a special? Do you get surprise less or more?
It didn't say no. I don't. I mean, it was a very lengthy read, so I may be forgetting it.
Okay.
But not to my recollection.
All right.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 1. So there we go. Interesting. So what does that mean, Dan?
This is strange. We're both. That means that the way I believe it means, what
Yes.
it means is I am surprised for. So I'm surprised for 2. You're surprised for 1, which means I'm surprised for 1.
That's right. That's the way we rule it. And I'm sure that'll cause controversy, but that's what we're going to do. So that means you have 1 segment you could cast a spell. What spell would you like to
Wait,
cast?
no. Wait, aren't I the? I'm the kirin.
Oh.
I'm surprised for a segment,
Oh, that's right. That's right. You rolled a 2. I'm sorry. That's right.
Yeah, this is your chance.
Oh, good. Let me think what I'm going to do. Oh.
See, this is what.
Well, wait a minute. We got to see how close we are. We are 10 feet away from each other.
Okay. Oh, so you're within range then.
Yes, we're in range. So what am I going to do? Uh-oh.
This is when you really wish we were using critical hits,
Right.
like a chart like good hits and bad misses, because that would give you a puncher's chance. You really have no chance now. I got to look at. I usually don't look at the table, but when it's -5 armor class, I've got to look at the table. How many hit dice do you have?
4.
It's going to be. Are we using that special rule? There's that special rule when you get the multiple 20s, then you have to do it's a complicated rule, right? But it's not just a 20, but then it's a 20 plus something else, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about because you pointed it out to me actually.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, the right. It may be impossible for me to hit you.
Yeah.
It's on page
well,
90 something of that.
That's optional.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna make. I'm gonna try to start baying, but you have 90. You have 100%. So now here's an interesting question: if you have a magic attack, in this case, the baying. This creature can bay.
Is it? But wait, why is that magical?
You don't think it's magical?
Hang on, I gotta go to the. Hang on, I gotta get out the book. All right, so that's clearly it's a weird creature. So, well, that doesn't answer whether it's Fiend Folly or Monster Manual 2. Okay, are you under Shadow or are you under Mastiff?
That's under Mastiff.
Obviously.
I mean, it'd be great if it wasn't magic, because then I'm going to bay and you're going to have to run, and that'll be great.
This is the amount of entry I want. I like that.
Right, 2 paragraphs.
Right, I can read this whole thing. Okay. Well, it's a special attack
Mm-hmm.
where, okay, where's the bang?
Because you see where I'm going.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's magical. Well, it doesn't say it's magical. I just assumed that it's so harrowing that I'm scared.
Well, then you have to make a save versus. It says save versus spells. So.
Oh boy.
Because this is critical. If it's magical in nature, it would not work against you. If it isn't, the way we've read it is. The baying of a pack of shadow massive is certain to cause panic. Certain to cause panic. Unless
it's safe.
No, we said that.
Oh wait, what is this?
The save is if you drop any item in your hand.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This is huge.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is like when there's like a call on the everything slows down. That all the refs huddle over at the scorer's table.
That's right.
and you're sitting there and you're waiting, and they're looking.
Boo! What are you doing? Let's go.
We hate instant. We just make a decision and move on. Wow. This is a toughie. So, because you're leaning, there's stuff pulling in both directions.
Mm-hmm.
Before you said unless a save versus spells is all right. All right. Do we need to do magic resistance now?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do magic resistance. Yeah.
See, it's like, okay, all right, fine. I don't know why I'm upset. That's what this show is. I'm like angry.
Right.
What the show is.
This is usually that's how I feel the whole time, and then I just have to remember.
That's the show.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a guest today, so I don't have the pressure of trying to get it done. Mm-hmm. You have a book to finish or something like that, so I am trying to be cognizant of that time. So really, it's whenever you decide, hey, I got to work on my book, you just go, I'm done.
I just gonna get up and leave. I'm gonna be like Bilbo. So you're probably just gonna disappear.
I look up and it's got quiet.
That's what I'm done with the whole show.
Right.
The whole series. There's just gonna be one time where I'm just gonna drop. I'm just gonna drop the headset, walk off, and I'm done.
It's done.
Okay. All right. Magic resistance. I'm going to the monster manual for this.
Okay, and I'm going to go to the DMG for that, but it's the same thing. So Shannon from Bruce County, Ontario asks, how does magic resistance works in AD&D? Well, that's a great question. So magic.
Angry dwarves.
Everyone's angry. It's an angry time.
Yeah, we're angry. Okay. I'm gonna read from the monster manual because it's very short.
Yes, I like that.
My guess is gonna tell me nothing. Magic resistance indicates a percentage chance of any spell absolutely failing in the monster's presence. It is based on the spell. We're gonna have to go to the glossary now.
Yes.
Spell being cast by a magic user of 11th level, and it must be adjusted upwards by 5% for each level below 11th, or downwards for each level above 11th of the magic user casting the spell. I assume it's count. Now, it's also cleric or illusionist, though, isn't it?
Of course.
Well, okay. It says. Well, this is you're a textualist and a strict constructionist. Usually, if it says magic user, that necessarily means nothing else.
Well, I'm reading at the DMG. It just says the percentage chance of any spell absolutely failing. So I apologize.
You should not apologize. There's no reason to apologize. You've provided useful information. Thus, a magic resistance of 95% means that, we know, I get that. Even if a spell does not take effect, does take effect on a magic resistant creature, the creature is entitled to normal saving throws.
Yes.
Note also that the magic resistance of a creature has an effect on certain existing spells. Now this is interesting. Such as Hold Portal, where it indicates the probability of the magic resistance shattering. Oh, it has to indicate the probability of the magic resistance shattering the existing spell. So Hold Portal, if we went to Hold Portal and read up on that spell, it would indicate that magic resistance can shatter it?
I guess so. I've never read. I've read Hold Portal, but it's been a long time.
It has to indicate it, though. It says, note also that the magic resistance of a creature has an effect on certain existing spells, such as a hold portal, where it indicates the probability of the magic resistance shattering the existing spells. So what have I learned about that? Just how to calculate it, and I've learned it works on existing spells. Okay, you're up.
Yeah, so, that is a good point. If you read it textually, it's only spells, but clearly there are things that are spell-like that would be affected as well. We've always ruled, and I'm pretty sure, like a ring of invisibility replicates the invisibility spell. And that's why they give the level of character. So magic resistance has always impacted magic that.
Wait. Okay, that's very significant, though. Is that just your?
No.
That's your interpretation,
or
is this true?
Well, I'm inferring that if you go to the Ring of Invisibility, it says it produces the same effect as the invisibility spell.
Oh, so if something produces the effect of it, you're very good, my friend. I see you're building an argument.
Well,
I'm not stupid. Well,
Well, you're supposed to
I'm
be playing a super genius, which people were hoping that you would figure that out. They're like, how is he going to play that?
a super genius. Yeah, it's hard. It's easier to play stupid, right? It's easier to play less intelligent
That's right.
than
But
more intelligent
easier
than
to
you
play
are.
down.
Right, it sure is. So,
And-
okay, I'm going to a portal.
And I recall somewhere in the DMG, I thought, because of course the only thing they talk about magic resistance is in the glossary, which made it so prevalent. So anyway, back to Shannon's original question. Hello, Josh. This creature is so resistant to the foibles of magic that it has a percentage chance to ignore the effects regardless, and that percentage chance changes based on the level of the spellcaster, and it's based on the 11th level. So if they have a drow, which is the one that's usually the first creature that people run into that's such a pain, is they have typically 25%, and it adjusts based on the level of the drow, and so let's just say 25%. If you are a 7th level magic user and you try to cast Fireball on the drow and it blows up, your 7th level, you're 4 levels less than 11th, which is the baseline. You add 20%. Now they have a 45% chance. If they roll under 45, the Fireball does nothing to them. If their magic resistance fails, then they get their normal saving throw and they would save for half.
So, I didn't find anything in Whole Portal talking about that. You can look up Whole Portal
No, if you
too.
say
I didn't
so.
see anything in Whole Portal
So
saying that.
Menion,
but I guess
Menion came, told us about P and Key, and now he's out. So that's good. Have a good one, sir.
so. Okay, so Matt, so the glossary talks about it doesn't really add anything, but well, you're right. It adds any spell.
That's right.
So I guess the lesson here is that there's spells too that are just existing, right? It's not just simply spells that are cast upon you, but so Whole Portal, things like that. So you really got to think about that.
Right.
Any spell.
Right. Wall of Force. They could potentially walk through a wall of force.
Yeah. Okay.
So
now we're back to, all right, now we at some point we have to deal with our issue. And the issue is whether or not it is really the question is simply, is it easy to state, hard to answer? Is it a spell or is it not? Would you include what do you believe in things that are spell-like?
yes, I mean what I have connotated magic resistance always been, and I don't have the citing here. I'm trying to remember because we talked about magic items because they've actually talked about swords hitting people. So for instance, the sword still works against this.
Yeah, clearly. Everyone agrees with that, right? No one's applying magic resistance to a magic sword, right?
Well, some have argued that some of like if you had a flame tongue, the magic sword would work, but maybe the flame wouldn't work. That's where it gets sideways on some of this.
I don't like that. No, look, it says spell.
Right, then that's an interesting take, but I'm trying to remember somewhere in here where they talk. I thought it was in the DMG.
Are you serious? Oh, so what you're saying is when you say you're not talking about 3 dudes in a basement.
No, it's not like you and I babbling.
In Calgary.
Maybe it was a Dragon magazine. I'm gonna have to do some more research on it because again, I didn't look it up. But the basic magic resistance is for spells. But I'm pretty sure because once you expand that to magic, then it gets all kinds of crazy.
There's no, and if you look it up, there's no in the back. Is spell resistance listed in the index in the DMG? I don't see, which is going to make it hard, right? There's spell casting, spell research.
Well, so I mean, the first question is, we'll have to look it up later. This goes back to the DM thing. I'm going to rule it's a spell. Now the question is this a spell-like effect or is it just an ability that they do?
Right. That's where we are at.
Right. That's the more fundamental question. And for the purposes of this, because if it is an ability, and David is, as you know, he disagrees with your take on surprise that he thinks the kirin would have surprise for a segment. You've convinced me the otherwise, but that's another story. So.
Because I would be surprised the die roll. All right, I know I'm preaching to the choir.
But
with you,
regardless, Because I want this thing to keep going, and I don't want a kirin to be the thing so that when you kill the kirin that you take his horn and everything else. I'm going to say that it is an ability, it's not magical, and he can do that, and you run away. Sorry, have a nice day. That's what I'm rolling. If you don't like it, too bad.
Wait, so it's over?
Right, that's it. You flee in panic.
Wow.
No one's ever,
Okay.
if you can't defeat the Shadow Mastiff, well, because you're the one, I don't mean this in a derogatory sense, but you're the one who convinced me that the Shadow Mastiff can bay with one Shadow Mastiff. So I'm like, okay, well, that means he's super powerful.
Wait. No. There's a comma. Okay, let's look at that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
The baying of a pack of shadow... Number one... Well, I know. So the baying of a pack of shadow mastiffs is certain to cause panic, comma, resulting in flight directly away from the baying while dropping any item held in the hand, comma, unless a save versus spells is made. I believe that the last clause modifies the first clause. That the clause in the middle, I'm just going to start using big phrases, which I don't really know what they mean.
Right. Well, this is your teaching background, which is good.
Yes, right. Well, and I am a super genius,
That's
at
right.
least for this episode. For result, I think it's an independent clause. I think I get a save to avoid fleeing, not dropping. I think if I panic, I drop, but I think the last clause gives me a save. Not only do I think that makes sense grammatically, the way it's the sentence structure,
Mm-hmm.
I think it also makes sense just from common sense that, you generally get a save from these sort of things.
Right, but so are you rolling twice your save, or if you panic, you automatically drop your item?
That's what I think. The baying of a pack of shadow mastiffs is certain to cause panic, comma, resulting in flight directly away from the baying while dropping any item held. Because look, it also says, it doesn't say the dropping items is linked with the fleeing.
Right.
So they're not separate. So I think you get it. The way I read this is, I would interpret this as you get a save. If you make the save, you don't flee. If you fail to save, you flee and drop your stuff.
Okay. I mean, that makes it a lot less ridiculous.
That's what I think.
Right.
But now for each one under, I'm going to save, because you're only one. For each one under 10, I get +1. So I'm +9 on my save. One's always I have +9 on my save.
Well, but yes, you're +9 to your save, and
I'm a level 12.
Right. If this was in my game, this would be magic resistance. And in fact, there's more comments. People are having comments about the robe of scintillating colors talks about magic resistance. I can't see it here, so I'd have to do more research. But I've always put it basically, except for weapons and other things like that. If it's a spell effect, it does that. But
I'm going to make my save anyway.
Right. Well, you got to make your roll first.
+9. I need a 10.
Yeah.
So a +9.
So you can roll a 1. Go ahead. And then you're dropping your horn. If you fail, you're dropping you're so terrified your horn flies out of your head.
and my whole coat.
And your whole coat. That's right. You leave your coat. So roll D20.
Pile of gold. All right, here we go.
But here, folks, this is what makes the game good. The DM and the players work together to come up with something, and we're moving on.
Okay.
The groups that don't do that, they don't last.
There you go. There's a lesson here for you kids. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so now it's initiative.
You're dead. Boo!
I'm going to try to disrupt your spell if you try to cast a spell. What are you doing, oh great kirin?
I have a wish spell.
You do. You're going to try.
Can I wish you dead?
Huh?
I've never dealt with a wish before. I've never had a wish. Can I wish you dead? Can I wish you to implode?
You could wish a lot of things. I'll have to adjudicate that. You have to. I'm going to have to talk to your wife as an attorney and parse your wish out to make for any legal loopholes, depending on how terrible it is.
I wish you to die.
It's terrible.
I know I'm awful good now, but it happens fast. No, you're parenthetical evil.
Okay, so you're going to cast wish. Okay. I'm going to attack you then, because you're going to be standing there without your dex bonus.
Okay.
All right, so here's 5.
Do I get a wish every episode?
No, you just get, well, if you want, sure. 4. Oh, I get to attack you. What's your armor class?
-5.
I wonder what your dex is.
I think you need a 20. Yeah.
All right.
You need a 20.
I missed, shockingly.
It's ridiculous.
Okay. So you're going to say I'm dead. Okay, I'm going to, I think that's an alignment change, my own personal opinion.
You're parenthetical evil. And you've been on a murdering spree.
Yeah. Why didn't you just use power word kill on me? I think, well, I don't, did you have that? I don't think you had power word kill. You had wish.
I don't know about any of this high-level stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a super genius.
You had power word blind. You didn't. You didn't use the spell I thought you were going to use.
What? Oh yeah, irresistible dance.
Yeah, I thought you were going to use that, but okay.
Well, it made me feel bad.
Why would it make you feel bad?
I'd be torturing you.
Well, okay. So wish. Okay, so you took your time. What's your wish? You need to say it.
Die.
Okay.
I wished for you to die as I look at you.
Okay.
Immediately. Wait, did I get that in there? I wish for you to die. Immediately. Because you will die at some point.
Yeah, so
Is that the way it works, right?
I'm going to give him a saving throw.
You die at old age.
Yeah.
You get a saving throw against a wish?
I think so.
You're just saying that. That's fine.
You get -3 to your strength potentially. I think you have to make a saving throw because you're trying to kill someone with this. It says other forms of wishes that will cause the spellcaster to be weak and require 2 to 8 days of bed rest due to the stress of the wish placed upon time, space, and her body.
Oh my gosh! Wait, if this doesn't work, I'm just like laying there and you're just like killing me.
Yeah, and wishing another character dead would be grossly unfair. For example, your DM might well advance the spellcaster to a future period where the object is no longer alive. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. I like that idea. So you actually go poof and you disappear.
So I'm like 50 years into the future.
That's right. You just moved 500 years into the future.
Fine. You're still dead.
That's right.
50 years in the future.
That's right. I'm dead, but you're gone. I like that. I like that even better. See, wishes are fun, folks.
The shadow. Yeah, I should have just gone with the friggin'
attack with the. He had 8 hit points.
I got greedy.
All this power got to your head, so.
Oh man, I didn't know how to handle it.
I know it's tough. That's why
everyone out there like, you idiot. You're a super genius.
So yeah,
you had the famous hoof horn.
Casting spells without knowing what they do should be dangerous. So, yeah, well that's good. This was very illustrative of a lot of things. How to adjudicate difficult subjects. How you have to work with your players. If not, you're not going to have a group.
How to pronounce kirin.
How to pronounce kirin. That was perfect.
How not to play a kirin.
How not to play a kirin. And, if you're in David's game, the kirin gets surprised. And you know what? You got to live with that. He's the DM. If I'm the DM, that's how we're going to work. Because in the end, as long as you're consistent and people know it, that's fine. That to me is probably the biggest thing where DMs get in trouble is when they make a ruling, then they don't. Like when we get done with magic resistance, I should go do some research and then come back and say, hey, this is how I ruled it, but this is how I'm going to do it going forward and be consistent.
You should spend the time that you otherwise would have spent working on uploading the interview segment
right.
to do magic resistance research.
So the Chamberlain must have went and got a snack or something. So the Dan running the kirin just said he wanted the Shadow Massive to be dead, not realizing that in the player's handbook it says if someone wants someone dead. I
said immediately at the end, though, right? I mean, there probably was a little bit of hesitation, which didn't work, because you may recall I said I want you dead. Right. And then like 5 seconds later I go, immediately.
Well, that's too late. The spell, the cosmic forces had worked to your thing.
Very like a Monty Python segment.
Exactly.
I wish you dead. Immediately. You just hear immediately as I'm like blinking out.
So no one's dead, but he's gone. So there's no divine intervention, which I like too. This is even better. This is the best solution we've had.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we're on to spell selection?
We're on spell selection. So David, what happened was he cast Wish. I adjudicated that. That put the kirin into the future where the Shadow Mastiff was dead. Whatever that future is. But he's not here anymore.
So are we in the kirin's future
No.
with random encounter? Or are we in the
we're
Shadow
st-
Mastiff?
we're not going the Bill and Ted's time travel. We're in this. Our future has not changed. The kirin's future has.
Okay. The time traveling kirin. So he can like go visit his kids, like his kids are older.
Right.
It's
He
kind of
has kids. That's right.
That should be. We should do a show on like the time traveling kirin. That'd be fun, like a Doctor Who with a kirin.
Okay, I like that would be a good adventure.
Right? It'd be a good cartoon.
Or a good cartoon. But very good. So I think, and we talked about magic resistance. That was good. Excellent. Spell selection.
Let's do it. All right.
Oh, and now we've determined that for the Shadow Mastiff, after your parsing of the sentence, which we do agree that sentence is terrible. It's not a good sentence.
You waiting for me to confirm that?
It's not a good sentence. They should say, it should be more of an active voice. Every attorney I'm always dealing with, they always say must be active voice.
Or it should have been two sentences would have cleared up.
That's right.
You must make a save or flee in panic, period. If you flee in panic, comma,
right.
You drop all your stuff.
Right. You drop whatever's in your hand.
Right.
Or make a save versus save throw or flee in panic, comma, and drop any items in your hand.
So we've not remained consistent, is what you're saying.
Right. Well, it's just the sentence is crappy, and that's the problem with
We've not remained consistent.
I mean, who reads this stuff is the problem. They should have people like us read it, who are not the brightest of bulbs, and we would be.
Or Jody Lanai.
Right.
Right. She's like, look. Do you think she corrected grammar?
She said she did minor things.
Yeah.
She didn't change like the essence of it.
No, not like, hey, that AC should be. I wonder if she screwed up at all and like did a wrong AC or something.
We sort of asked her that, and she didn't volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
I think she basically said, "I don't remember."
She just wanted to admit it. Like maybe the kirin was supposed to have an AC of 5.
Right, or maybe the whole Hobbit, the halfling Dex debacle.
Yeah, that was her. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Can't believe you didn't ask her directly. Why do you hate halflings? Why are you racist?
It was on my list. I decided she was so nice.
It's racist, but okay. Now it's spell selection.
I didn't want to go there.
Yeah,
she's so nice. Okay, here we go. I'm rolling. I rolled a 45. Let me guess. It's a magic user spell.
Still, yep.
Okay. Would you like to roll as I flip and turn?
D10, sure. 10. There is no 10. 8. Oh, look,
this is like the superpower episode.
And this falls into Dragon 40, which again, there was some of the, and we'll get to it later, but people complaining. I guess people complain about all these high-level adventures, and one guy's like, well, we have these spells. People should try to go high level. I don't agree with it, but because it's annoying. But yeah, I get his point.
All right. So 16.
Yep. Roll a D8 and a D6 or something else.
Well, we don't want to do anything that. Okay. All right. Here we go. It is a it's a 5 on the 6-sided, and it's an 8. So that's a 16. Whoa! I like the sound of this. This was Flaming Dung's third album. Oh no, this is definitely the Pseudo Undead's third album. Trap the Soul.
Trap the soul. Trap the soul. Get in the pit. It's time to trap the soul.
This is our third album. You'll know it. Yeah. Get in the pit and trap the soul. I love it. All right.
Good.
That should be. I don't know what it would be about, but I feel like that should be a column in Flipping and Turning magazine.
Flipping and Turning, Trap the Soul.
Trap the Soul?
Well, you should probably read what it is.
Okay, let's go there. All right.
The image that comes every time I hear this, even though it's not exactly the same, is in Tomb of Horrors, where they show Serac's skull sucking out, killing the guy. And he's getting sucked into the gym.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's famous, but okay. Yes, that's right. David's called it Trap the Soul. That's right.
Trap the Soul. Okay. Oh wait, I was like, it's not, but it's not 9th level.
No, it's 8th level.
Okay, it's long. Here we go. I'll start reading.
Mm-hmm.
This spell is similar to the Magic Jar, except that the Trap the Soul spell forces a subject creature's life force. Can it work if you have a spirit? I guess I should keep reading. And its material body, if any. Oh, and its body. into a special prison magicked by the spellcaster. The subject of the spell must be seen by the caster, and the magic user must know the subject's true name. Oh, so you should not. Oh, so this is an important tip here. You shouldn't use your real name in D&D.
Right. You should have pseudonyms.
You should have pseudonyms because, like, yeah, okay, never use your real name, okay? As well as when the final word is uttered. So the magic user must know the subject's true name as well when the final word is uttered. Preparatory to the actual casting of the trap, the soul, the magic user must prepare the soul prison.
Soul prison. Welcome
Soul
to the
prison.
soul prison. That's also good.
Yes, I love it. The soul prison. A gem of 1,000 gold pieces value for every hit die or level experience the creature's soul is to be trapped possesses. So this is terrible.
Mhm.
Like, this is how you're like, yeah, like this is like a hit job,
Right.
kind of, on someone's soul. Okay, i.e., it requires a gem 1,000 gold piece value to trap a 10 hit dice 10th level creature by placing an enchant and item spell upon it, and then placing a maze spell into the gem, thereby forming the prison for the soul to be trapped.
Mhm.
Oh, so you can be trapped in a gem.
Right.
There are two manners in which the soul of the victim can be imprisoned. The final word of the spell can be spoken when the creature is within spell range, but this entitles it to exercise its magic resistance, if any. There you go. And a saving throw versus magic as well. Wait, do magic users do characters get magic resistance at any point?
Yes. There's the most. What's the easiest way for magic resistance to happen for?
Well, you're an elf.
Against spells, yeah, against sleep and paralyzation.
Yeah, that's limited.
It's talked about in the player's handbook page. I'm going to do it, Dan. So Dan, on page 22, it talks about. Oh, it doesn't talk about it here, but you learn about it later. It's a paladin if you get a holy sword.
Oh, the paladin. If you get a holy sword, you get but otherwise than that, like magic users don't at a high level. They don't start getting magic resistance.
I believe in Wish you could cast a wish to grant yourself magic resistance.
Oh,
but it's a very small amount. But still, it's ridiculous. Now, again, going back to magic resistance, because it's so powerful, the idea is you cannot have certain spells cast on you. Now, some people allow for the magic resistance to be like shields down. I don't agree with that. So the classic case is, oh, you want cure light wounds? Well, you have magic resistance. You have to.
Oh, wow.
Right, but then this goes back to, can you automatically fail a save? I'm not a big fan of that. I think you still have to make a saving throw. But there's others who argue. I think Gary, someone said yes, you can automatically. And later editions they allow that as well. But so again, if it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander, from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it makes interesting. I mean, right? I mean, like gnomes and dwarves and halflings, the chance of a spell, of a ring malfunctioning, right? They have a chance because of that.
Yes.
So that's the same thing.
Well, that's because their hands are small, because they're tiny. But the elf thing, I don't think.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I figured it was because that they're kind of resistant.
Well, I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination. Yeah, they're highly resistant. But I think one of them is not magic resistant. Halflings are. Gnomes are or not? I forgot. With
for ring? Oh, just in general or for rings?
Yeah, for general.
Okay, I don't know. So I'll keep reading while you.
Go ahead. Yeah, we're distracted again. I apologize for those out there trying to keep track of this. Trap the soul. Anyway, go ahead.
The final word of the spell can be spoken when the creature is within spell range, but this entitles it to exercise magic resistance, if any, and a saving throw versus magic as well. And if the latter is successful, the gem shatters. The second method of soul trapping is more insidious. Oh, I like this one.
I like insidious.
Right? For it tricks the victim into accepting a trigger object inscribed with the final spell word, which will automatically place the creature's soul into the trap. If this method is used, it will be necessary to name the triggering item when the prison gem is magicked. Wait, so who has to name the item?
The magic user.
I just have to say it?
Yeah. Is tricks incepting a trigger object inscribed with the final word, which all my place. It is necessary to name the triggering item when the prison is magic. So, what's the object that's going to trap this gem? A sympathy spell may be placed on the trigger item. So when they pick it up, it's then transferred to the gem. They're not the same. The gem and the object are not the same thing.
So I can have any loaf of bread, you're at the market.
You're goobers.
Goobers. You're at the market, right? You're at the movies,
Right.
and I've got a pack of goobers, and so I can use the pack of goobers. So I want to be more insidious because I don't want you to have a save. So I'm going to make that the trigger. So I've got to inscribe it with the final spell. So I'm inscribing the final spell word on the pack of goobers. Correct?
Yep, that's right.
And then then I've got to say, hey, do you want? It will be necessary to name the triggering item when the prison gem.
Right, and then when the person accepts the goobers, like I said, hey, let's go to the lobby. Let's all go, which is again a band. It's owned by a death metal, whatever, alternate metal band. Let's go to the lobby, and you say, hey, I want raisinets. I'm like, no. How about this? Here, I bought you goobers.
That's terrible. And so.
And then you go, and I go, Except my gem doesn't cost much because you're less than 1 hit dice. Well, how much? If it says 1 hit dice per 1,000, what happens if you're 0 level? Is it like a 10 gold piece gem?
1 for every hit die. You're right. No, it could be like, what is it? Cubic. It's like what's the fake?
That's cubic zirconia.
The glass. It could be a fake gem. So that's terrible. So I just got to get you to. So what are the lessons here? Don't give out your real name.
Don't accept strange candy from.
Don't accept candy from strangers.
If you see the magic user with the wizard on the side of his van.
Yeah.
Or the dragon, those 80s vans that have the wizard on the side, and he comes out and says, hey, you want some candy? Probably should avoid that.
Can the item be handed by somebody other than the magic? Can I give it to a little kid?
Why not?
Oh. So just don't take anything from anybody.
You shouldn't accept gifts.
At all.
Right.
Okay. A sympathy spell. What is a sympathy spell? May be placed on the trigger item.
That's so that you want to...
That's terrible.
More compelled. And that's what David was saying. Is like, boy, this spell, you already need 3 or 4 spells to make this happen, which is true. So hopefully you have all these spells, because you need maze, trap the soul, sympathy would be helpful. Absolutely.
Yeah, you need a lot. But if you get all those...
Yeah, you're making it very awesome.
You're like, I must have those goobers. I guess you get a save from sympathy.
I forgot exactly what it does. It's sympathy, antipathy. That's 7th level, if I remember correctly.
So as soon as the subject creature picks up or accepts the trigger item, its soul is automatically transferred to the gem.
What's 8th
The
level?
gem prison will hold the soul trapped until time indefinite, or until it's broken and the soul is released, allowing the material body to reform. If the creature trapped is a powerful creature from another plane, and this could actually mean a character trapped by some inhabitant of another plane of existence when the character is not on the prime material plane, it can be required to perform a service immediately upon being freed. Otherwise, the creature can go totally free once the gem imprisonment is broken.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you just break it like a normal gem then?
Yeah, you smash it, and then the guy comes
So,
out.
I don't need like a bunch of, okay. But so this is terrible. So if I trap your soul in a gem, I can just toss that thing in the ocean?
Right. Lock it away.
So, yeah, I just take a boat, and I'm like in the middle of the ocean. I just fling it out.
Right.
You go to the bottom of the ocean. You're probably eaten by a fish, by a gar.
Yeah, or put it in a permanent cube of force. Protect it. If you're really, it's like if you had an ex-wife or ex-spouse. Here's your divorce papers.
Right. They're in a gem. And so where's the gem can just be anywhere at that point?
You can have it in your pocket. You can do whatever. Yeah.
And so, okay, now here's my question. What if I have a spirit? What if I'm an elf or a half-orc? Did you follow your own rule? Well, I would think I can't be trapped then.
No. Did you look in this book?
We did. Oh, no, I did not.
This is your rule.
I was like the glossary. What would be in the glossary?
Oh,
that would be helpful.
It doesn't say anything about it.
Nothing?
Yeah, my take, trap the soul, is just very dramatic. It's trap the creature, basically. But yes, you could make that argument.
No, I think you have to have a soul.
Well,
Well, it does say, oh, wait. It does say subject creature's life force.
right.
It doesn't say soul.
Right.
So is that just sort of like a name for it?
Right, it's just to make it sound cool.
Exactly. I think you're right. That makes sense to me. So, okay. So what do I do? So what do I do with this? I mean, am I taking this into the dungeon?
No, you're not taking it done. This is the
Here,
role.
here, kobold, have some goobers.
I think a lot of these spells were created for adventures. Why this creature got trapped. This is the whole.
Yes, agreed. This is in the introduction.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like the soul gem in Ghost Tower.
Right.
I was captured. Can you trap the thing? Can you reuse the same gem? Do you think?
No, because you have to shatter it when it's broken.
Wait, what?
If you want to free the creature.
No, I want to store a bunch of people in there.
Oh, I think it's one per thing.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's probably, the crown of souls. Well,
there's the soul gem in Ghost. Have you ever been through Ghost Tower?
No, you told me about it because
there's a soul gem
that kind of randomly, right? It shoots out randomly, and if you get hit, you get.
Yeah, you can try. All right, that's an interesting one. Trap the soul. It's a conjuration, summoning. Okay.
Or you could force someone. Like you said, there's a powerful creature who knows. I don't know. It creates potions that you need to save your. The kingdom or whatever, and he's not going to do it for you, so you trap the soul, and then I'll let you out if you, because it infers that when it gets out, it will do you, not infers, it says, the creature will do you a favor if you release it. So can you talk to the creature? That sounds like you can.
If the creature, okay, I'm glad you brought that up. If the creature trapped is a powerful creature from another plane,
yeah,
it can be required to perform a service immediately upon being freed. And this could actually mean a character trapped by some inhabitant of another plane.
Right. So that could be the start of the adventure. These characters go to the movies, and they pick up their goobers, and they become trapped. And then they get freed on the plane of fire or whatever.
And then I have to perform a service. So I'm the one performing the service then, right?
Yes, that's right. That would be the start of the adventure. You'd be forced to. Right.
Right, that I've got to perform. Okay.
Now, why a 16th or whatever greater being would go through all this trouble to have you, the first level guy, to do this is another story. But
I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, that's the market wizard.
No, I meant I'm bored.
That's the market wizard.
No, I meant can we do something different? I'm bored. The show.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. No, because I'm bored. So basically, this is, again, the magic user in the market, which is that, you know what? I'm bored. I'm going to go trap somebody's soul just because I'm evil, right? Like, what is it? Our magic user in our next segment, Cameron, right? Elron Baroon.
Right.
So I'm Elron Baroon. I'm chaotic evil. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go, you know what? I'm going to go trap somebody's soul. I guess it's a mean thing to do, right? I mean, so you want to do it to your enemy? Because I guess, do I know what's going on? I'm like trapped in there. I don't starve, it sounds like, right?
Right.
It's like suspended. Carbonite. I'm Han Solo.
Right. You're in stasis.
Okay. Am I thinking? Do you think? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
So it is kind of cruel.
Right. You're like the Superman when those criminals are put in those panes of glass and they're flying through the galaxy forever. It's a terrible fate.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. I learned something. Okay.
All right. So now we're on to the next thing.
Are we going to do our new? Because I was suggesting a new segment.
Yes. You want to do the new segment first before we do the
So this is just a pilot.
Yes, this is a pilot.
To see how it goes.
Right.
If it's terrible, we're not going to do it. I want to learn about magic items.
Well, clearly. So we're calling this Treasure Seekers or something like that. We haven't really come up with a name yet.
Treasure Hunter.
Treasure Hunter. Right.
Random treasure.
Right. So we're on page 120 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. And
so it's a new segment. We're going to give it a whirl where we do a random magic item. And then we talk about it.
Right.
And it is. Page 120, there's a random treasure determination table.
Yeah, so we're going to start with number 1, map or magic determination. So roll your percentages.
This was news to me that you could have a map on your random table. 39. It's a magic item. So we go to number 3.
Number 3.
Okay.
Yep, now roll percentages.
On page 121 of the DMG, I rolled an 89.
89. Miscellaneous weapon.
So I'm going to H. I'm flipping and turning. Here it is.
Flipping and turning. Page 125. Yep. Roll percentages. It's going to be
77.
It's going to be a dagger. Oh, mace plus 4.
Wow.
That'd be nice.
So here's a question. Can you have anything plus, like a club? I know it's not listed, but can you have a club plus 2?
Sure, why not?
I agree with that. So mace plus 4. This is going to be a very short segment. Hey, where's the plus 4 mean?
Is that 1 better than plus 3? Yes. That's that.
Okay. Well, listen. So we said this was a pilot. We've learned some early problems. We should have seen this coming.
They don't even have a statement for it. Now, what you can do is go under page 168. Let's try to save this.
It can't even be No, it can't have any special powers if that's where you're going.
No, it just says, go ahead.
It bothers me that only swords can be intelligent.
Well, that's technically true in the DMG, but...
Do you play it where you think you could have an intelligent spear?
Well, are we leveraging the extended canon of D&D modules?
If it's modules from the era, I'd love to hear about it.
My understanding, now here's the caveat, these are artifacts. The Whelm, Wave, and Black Razor. Black Razor's a sword.
This is White Plume Mountain?
That's right, White Plume Mountain. 99% positive, I don't have S2 here. They are intelligent weapons. And one's a trident.
Got it. Okay, I like that idea. I really like intelligent weapons. I think they're fun. Another personality. Okay, so why am I on page 168?
Because at the bottom, we're trying to save this thing. What does it say at the bottom of 168?
Under miscellaneous weapons?
That's right.
The various items listed generally have their bonus applied to both the hit and damage dice, whether it's +1, +2, +3, or +4. Any miscellaneous weapon which is not totally self-explanatory is detailed in one of the special paragraphs below. Well, this is totally self-explanatory.
Exactly.
Wait, that's it?
That's it. There you go. You can feel confident that it's totally self-explanatory.
I'm not sure yet, but I think this segment sucks. But I think we should continue to do it because so fine. It's a mace +4. Right.
Hey,
there it is. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good item.
Right. And then I'm curious, people on the chat. So again, what makes D&D fun, especially when you're when you're creating your own adventures, right? You use the Monster Manual treasure table. You have whatever, an orc. Well, let's say you have an orc lair, and you roll up this whatever treasure type it is, and it comes up with a miscellaneous magic item, and you roll up a +4.
Yes. Okay. And that's an interesting question. So, or raising an interesting issue. So on treasure type.
Yes.
So, if any of these had said miscellaneous magic, then that's what our rule just would have been.
Correct.
Right?
Well,
miscellaneous weapon. Oh, yeah. See, so for example,
it says miscellaneous weapon because there's miscellaneous magic. There's multiple tables of that.
I understand. But so miscellaneous magic, if we had one of these treasure types and we had rolled it, like what's a kobold? Like so, could you have just found a kobold's treasure type? Well, individuals have J.
Individuals would not have one.
Oh, individuals are J-O. Individuals J-O. Wait, why do you say that?
Because I'm 99% positive a kobold's individual treasure type has no magic.
Oh, it's nil. Oh, yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's J is nil. O is nil. Q. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So you need A.
We're on page 105 of the Monster Manual. You're looking at the treasure type. So.
Oh, the sucky ones are J through Q.
Right, they're the individual ones. That's what individuals have, yes. I told you this, they're sucky, that's right.
They're terrible. So if I look at orc, it's going to be one of those, individual.
Yeah.
L. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, look, it's C. Individuals. Oh, individuals L. Okay, I'm confused. Can you go to... So.
Oh, here we go with the commas. We've gone over this, Dan. The commas get you again.
Yeah, what are the commas? In layer, or the layer.
In layer, that's right.
So if I was in a kobold layer,
Right.
or an orc layer, I could have gotten the mace +4.
Yes.
Right. The individuals are always just carrying.
Crap.
So this is very interesting. Well, I don't want to exaggerate. Are you telling me that orcs only carry electrum pieces? Look, go to orc. Orc says individuals L, semicolon.
Right.
And then I go to L, and all it is 2 to 12 pieces.
Of electrum. Yep, they're just loaded down with electrum.
So orcs only carry electrum?
Yes. Per this. They get no respect. They have the least respected coin out there, the electrum piece.
Wait, is electrum more? No, electrum's in between silver and gold,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's two electrum for a gold.
Okay, it's better than
in
silver
first
and
edition.
copper.
Huh?
It's better than silver.
Well, it depends
Oh.
how much silver. Yeah.
So kobolds only... Well, wait a second. Hold on. Go to kobold. There's no semicolon.
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Semicolon.
Okay.
Page
Mis-
850.
Mr. Someone probably left a semicolon out.
Oh, don't say it. You're not saying.
I didn't.
Joe,
I didn't say it.
don't say it. What? There's no semicolon.
Right.
Right? So so what happens?
So it's individuals J. Look at O. You think each individual O has 1 to 4,000 pieces of copper on them? No.
Okay.
And 1 to 3,000. Cobalt has 5,000 coins on them.
He's moving slow. So I should write a little semicolon in there.
Yeah, you
so
can put it. Here, hold on. This is my book. It still has my official name on it in the little sticker tape.
Yep. Are you gonna put a
I'm
semicolon
going to
there?
put a semicolon. I'm defacing the book because you said it's okay.
So kobold, it is okay. It actually helps. So kobolds are only carrying copper.
There you go. Semicolon.
Oh, and look, goblins. Jody really should clean this up. Goblins.
Wow.
Then it's individuals K, comma, layer C. There's no consistency here. So goblins are K. So goblins are only carrying silver.
You're right.
This is weird. So goblins carry silver.
Mm-hmm.
Orcs electrum. Kobolds copper.
Right.
Oh, it's going up in order, isn't it?
Right. Same thing as the hit dice.
Yeah, so what would be... So Knoll is L and M. Oh, they get electrum and gold. Oh, hobgoblins are going to be good. What? Hobgoblins would be good as well, right?
Right. Hobgoblins would be better than orcs in theory.
Oh, they are... Well, I guess I got to figure it out. There's no semicolon. So I guess it's going to be J...
M.
which is gold, and then I guess it stops at D. Okay, all right.
So for those who maybe, if you've used prepackaged modules, this is all figured out for you. If you were writing your own adventure, doing a random encounter, here's what you would have to do. I mean, Gary talks about it in the DMG placement of treasure and magic items, and again, he wants you to find that sweet spot. Don't be such a tightwad, because if you don't give treasure out, that's the main driver of experience points. Your players are going to be unhappy, but don't be Monty Hall. He tends to err towards less. So if you had a creature that, again, going back to... So here's a question for you, Dan.
Yes.
The orc lair, right? Or let's say goblins, your favorite, 4 to 400, right? So the lair is C for 4 to 400. Do you nerf the amount of money? Let's say you roll crappy on the 4 to 400 for 40 to 400 for goblins. You end up with, I don't know, 110. And your party cleans them out. And then you roll for C. Do you say, well, there's only 110, which is basically 25% of the maximum goblins? Or you just say, hey, this is what the goblin lairs has, this is what they get?
I say I just roll. I'd sort of hurt my head. I'd just roll. I wouldn't adjust it.
I agree.
Because I like the random anyway. So like if
Right.
this small group has a ton, that's funny, and the vice versa. But can I go back to kobolds? I'm very upset about this. Okay, their lair is O and Q, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have no maps or magic items?
No.
Oh, look, it does say maps up there. Maps or magic. They have no maps or magic items.
Right, they suck.
That's crazy. Kobolds never have magic items in their lair. I know, I'm just repeating.
You can keep saying it.
Right? That's terrible. Even the why do they not have any magic items?
Because they're garbage.
They're all taken? Even in lair C, even the lowly goblin.
Yeah, the goblins could have magic items, right.
But that's so funny. But look at this. They only get their entire lair. They have 4,400, and there's only a 10% chance of 2. Am I understanding that right on C? Any 2,
right.
10%. What does that mean? Does that mean I roll?
You roll 10%.
Twice?
You roll 10%, and then you get any 2.
It's all or nothing.
Right. Yeah, you could get a total screw job out of it.
Yeah, so it's not really a bell curve there with 1. It's flat, and then it's 1 or 2.
Right. So it could go from you.
Wait, any 2. Wait, it's always 2. Is it ever 1?
I don't know. I'm sure. There is any 1.
No. Oh, right. But so it's always 2. If you get the 10%,
you get 2. That's right. You get any 2.
It's never 1.
Correct.
Okay.
Or at least that's the way I've read. That's the way I've always done it.
Well, does it talk about treasure type at the beginning?
I'm sure it does. Flipping. Turning.
Oh my God, it's enormous. We can't do that in this episode.
First to the table, if individual chair, each member of the party will carry, otherwise treasure is found in layers of monsters explained above. Note that although the encounter occurs in a monster layer and the monsters possess some treasure type, does not automatically mean that the adventurers will gain treasure by defeating monsters. Most treasure types show probabilities of various kinds of wealth to incur. Subsequent dice rolls indicate the form of treasure is not in the treasure trove, then it's not there, and it's quite possible to come up with no wealth. There you go.
All right, let's punt on that. We can do a treasure type episode.
Oh, and here, this goes back to what I was just saying. Finally, it must be stated that treasure types are based upon the occurrence of the mean number of monsters as indicated by the number appearing and adjustments detailed in the explanatory material provided. Adjustments downward should be made for instances where few monsters are encountered.
Yeah, I have to do it. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember reading it somewhere. That's why I said, do you do that or not? So.
Well, I should have. I've never used treasure type, but so I would have to do that.
So there you go. So that's how you would do it. But the point is, with all this, you're in the goblin lair and you roll up a +4 mace.
I like that. So in other words, I wonder how many people use treasure type, because in one respect, when you're writing an adventure. And I think that Ed Greenwood wrote about this. He had a list of interesting magic items in Dragon Magazine, and I really liked that list. But I remember he wrote in there that you really should come up with your own. This should only be if you really need to use something random on the fly. Otherwise, you should customize it for your adventure. But I love the random, and so in some respects, it seems like it's the lazy thing to do to use treasure type. You're not customizing it for your adventure. But I also kind of like that idea that you come across a mace +4 in the orc lair because you randomly rolled it. I mean, I love the random. I kind of like this idea at times that the DM is just the umpire. You're not creating everything, right? I mean, it's this kind of idea that dice don't lie. And if the dice says mace +4, that's a good story. And if it makes things kind of crazy and unbalanced, well, I'll throw in some more monsters. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I think generally I would go with it. Especially like that, because it's not and we talked about placing magic items, whatever that was, 1,000 years ago. It's not going to break your game. What I would suggest is, in my later DMing, I wouldn't just call it a +4 mace. Quickly make some kind of quick backstory for it, because that's a super powerful weapon. I think when we make these things so generic, it loses something. And ever since I read The Hobbit again, I'm really trying to make magic items more interesting.
Yeah, maybe like so maybe make it like a +4 versus something and
Right.
give it a backstory and some history. Oh, I agree with you completely. I mean, I love history and backstory for magic items. It's why I like intelligent swords. Kind of give them a personality. Okay, all right. Shall we move on to? Have you ever played a
Yes,
wizard
might as
in the?
well, even though I'm dead, so it doesn't matter.
No, aren't you back?
No, I'm not back. I'm dead. I'm a dead man. Dead man walking.
Making sure you're still going to decide. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
so
making choices, but I'm as a dead man, so it doesn't matter. But
okay, you've gone to where do you go? You're chaotic good. Where do you go?
I think I'm neutral good.
Oh, you think you're neutral good?
Neutral
Oh, okay.
leaning towards law because I am a government employee, so I do follow the law somewhat.
Oh, so neutral good, parenthetical, lawful. Okay, so as our listeners will recall, you are playing Elron Baroon, a magic
Who's
user.
evil? Who traps souls in his free time? Or that's what he wants to do. That's his
Yes.
life purpose, to go to the
Yes.
market and trap souls.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, he's slain some elves already. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, so he is chaotic evil. All right, and so he's searching what something was stolen from him.
Well, he hates the hobgoblins. He wants to kill the hobgoblins.
He's going to the hobgoblin lair. Yes. So it's revenge is sweet because they took his. Did they take a ring?
That I don't remember.
where revenge is sweet. They ended up actually breaking into our abode. Yeah, it's a gem of spell restoring.
Oh, okay.
So it's a gem.
Makes
So,
sense.
okay. And so we are looking for the hobgoblin lair, and some of us, not all of us, have just taken care of
The ghouls.
ghouls.
Some of us were ripped off by Kelly Villamere. He's on our list of people I got to call back. I'm saying he ripped me off from my elf protection, but okay. I'm not bitter.
Right. Okay. I'm glad. So as you walk up the hallway from the room, you turn a corner and see a hulking form seemingly munching on a body. He can't be that bad of a guy. Just then he turns around to face you. Oops, it's a white.
Oh, jeez.
Just enough time to. Oh, whites are nasty. Energy drain, right?
Negative material plane.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and whites are nasty. So they've got the wild hair.
Yeah, the wild hair. Yeah.
And the claws. They're moderate.
They're moderate evil. They are the epitome of moderate evil on the absolute table.
On the absolute scale. So here are your 10 choices. Number 1, cast sleep spell on it.
Yes.
If that fails, attack with your dagger. You want to die another death. D2, throw dart at it, then charge in to attack with your dagger. D3, cast ice storm spell on it, then attack with dagger. Ooh, I like that. D4, cast continual light on it while quickly running past with dagger in hand. D5, cast burning hands on it, then attack with dagger. D6, cast magic missiles on it, then attack with dagger. D7, cast invisibility on self using ring, then run past. D8, cast lightning bolt on it, then attack with dagger. That sounds good. D9, cast protection from evil on self, then attack with dagger. D10, use wand of paralyzation on it, then attack with dagger if it fails. So 1 is sleep, 2 is dart, 3 is ice storm, 4 continual light, 5 burning hands, 6 magic missiles, 7 invisibility, 8 lightning bolt, 9 protection from evil, 10 paralyzation.
Yep. And some of these could be controversial depending on your DM. So if you want to play with the game, just put your what you think you're going to do in this case. The Angry Monk says 4.
Continual light.
Jonathan goes with 9, protection from evil.
Very good. Again, I feel like the waiter. Very good, sir.
Very good. That's a good choice. Excellent.
Excellent. The protection from evil is an excellent choice. I don't mess around with whites.
Right.
I'm going with lightning bolt.
All right, Dan.
In a room, oh my God, is that going to bounce around?
Well, who knows? But that sounds good.
Meaning bad. You want me to join you in wherever it is?
That's right. Well, if I wanted to kill myself, I would go with 1.
Right. think they got some resistance, don't they?
Yeah. Well, this is what the whole undead thing, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to pick 7, even though in my game that would not work.
Why?
Because I think undead are immune to those type of things in my game, illusions.
I was invisibility. Well, I was kind of wondering that because they're partly, are they getting energy for the negative material plane, or are they partly in the they just get energy from? They're not in the negative material plane.
Well, it's hard to because these are corporal creatures. The wraith and specters, they have their essence is back there. They have some connection. It's, again, I'm sure someone has done a better job with that, but
okay. Anyone else? So final call.
Final call. I got 5 seconds. So
for avoiding the wraith or killing the wraith.
A white. If it was a wraith, it'd be an even worse story.
Oh, I'm sorry, for a white.
Okay, that's it. We've got our answers.
Okay. All right. What was number 1?
Sleep with dagger.
Okay. It fails. Yeah. Take 3 hit points of damage in melee and lose polymorph self and slow spell from loss of a level.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, so yeah, you lose your level, and so then you lose your ability to cast those spells. So you lost a level. I guess you then killed it?
Maybe.
Yeah, apparently. So why? So whites are resistant. Are they completely resistant?
Yeah, I think it specifically says that in there.
Yeah, whites are not affected by sleep, charm, hold, or cold-based spells. Neither poison nor paralyzation harms whites. That's interesting. That says that there, and we've had that issue with can you poison a black pudding?
Right.
And so here it says it. If it doesn't, which leads, of course, to the negative inference that otherwise you would be.
Right.
Why do you think they're not affected by sleep, charm, hold, or cold person?
Well, because they're dead, I think is the idea.
I kind of don't sleep anyway. You can't charm me. You can't. What about hold though?
Well, because
and why?
Again, it's that idea that their soul spirits have been corrupted and they have these powers now.
And cold because I'm just cold anyway.
Apparently, the cold. Okay. I'm sure that's more legend than rationale.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it's back to the Barrow White. You know, they live in these damp, cold places, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and did he feel very cold when he was attacked by? Didn't Frodo get attacked by?
By the ring wraiths.
No, I meant that's right. That's what I'm thinking of, not the Barrow Whites. Okay, D2. What was D2?
Dart and dagger.
Okay, it same thing.
Yeah.
So CD1. Oh, he's getting lazy. Oh my God, he's getting crazy lazy. Yeah, he was sick of it. That guy hadn't paid him back his $25.
Exactly.
He's already moving on. Fails, and you lose level. 3 was?
Ice Storm.
Wow, same thing. It fails. Oh, because it's cold.
Cold, that's right. So glad you didn't pick that.
Yeah, I sure am. 4. What was 4?
Continual light.
It works.
Yeah.
Great choice.
There you go. Good job.
Why is that a great choice?
Because they don't like the light. They avoid light. I think it says.
Does it say that in there?
I'm 99% positive it says it. Go look.
Oh, so light. So if I see a white, I want to use something. Oh, whites shun bright lights and hate sunlight. Oh, that's great. So if I cast so what does that usually mean? If I cast a light spell on, well, how do you play that? What happens then?
They would have, like a cross. It would be like the same thing like a cross with the vampire.
It's like turning almost.
Well, they avoid it. They don't run. Yeah. They just will avoid it.
Yeah. Okay. What was number 5?
Number 5, Burning Hands.
Works a bit, but in melee, so that works because it's heat-based. Yeah. So that's good. Works a bit, but in melee, take 2 hit points. Oh, and you lose your level.
Yeah.
So you guys, did anyone pick 5?
No.
Okay, so no one's lost a level.
No one currently, no.
Okay, what was D6?
Magic Missile.
Same as D5, works a bit. Same as D5.
Right. It's just not enough damage because they're too powerful.
Oh, and you lost a level. 7.
Invisibility.
Works great. Did anyone take that?
No.
Well, that worked great. 8.
8. Light bulb. No, lightning bolt. That's you.
Light bulb. That's a cantrip. That does sound like a cantrip, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Light bulb. D8, same as D4. Works great. I'm getting better. Great choice, says Callie. Thank
Ah.
you, Callie. I appreciate it. Great magazine. D9
Protection from evil, then dagger.
works a bit. Oh my gosh, one of our listeners lost a level.
Oh, sorry,
Ooh.
Jonathan, you lost a level.
Okay. And so don't be trying to use that. We need to police this. Don't be using that polymorph self for slow spell next time. We on D10.
Yep, paralyzation.
Same as D1. It fails, 3 hit points, and lose a level.
There you go.
So what do we learn about fighting whites? Use light.
Use light and try to hit don't get near them. That's the whole thing.
Yes. Run.
Right. Stay away from them.
Okay.
Losing a level is worse than death.
God, players hate
I
that.
would just hug the white at that point. Because
Hug a white?
yeah, just hug it, just get totally drained so you could come back as a weaker white.
Yeah, players absolutely hate that. Okay.
Because we had that. We lost 2 players. We lost 2 characters. They didn't die, but they became 0 level. One became like 0-1 because he was wet. Wasn't he like a?
That was the controversy. Yeah, because one of them was 1/1, and what happens when you're 1/1?
Right.
You just lose the ability to ever become. Because if you go to 0 from a white, you're never coming. Your career's over.
Right, you're done. That's what it says.
You're done.
Yeah.
But so if you're 1/0, can you get back that? I mean, I was nice and allowed it back. I think I wouldn't. Probably in the future if I was being a tough guy, right? Which is you can keep 1.
Right. You've maxed out on the 0 level at that point.
Yeah.
You could go up in the other one because you still have 1. But you'd lose half. It's the gift that keeps on giving. You lose half your experience points and
That's
it goes to
awful. You would do that?
Yes, that would be great.
It's terrible. It's like those people that would kill what are those the bugs that connect to get love bugs?
Love bugs, yeah.
You're just carrying you kill one.
That's right.
And you carry it around.
Or the conjoined twins and one of the twins dies.
That's awful.
It's terrible.
All right, shall we talk about Dragon Magazine 40
yes,
years
we're
ago?
about to. But so there's things about undead and invisibility. Why I hate invisibility. I think it's terrible. I think it's once people have invisibility, the game changes. Basically, the thief has invisibility, and then they spend the solo adventure patrolling everything, and so then the DM's trying to figure out. So that's why I.
And what's an offensive? Then it's endlessly what's an attack, right?
Right. What's an attack and this and they're constantly sneaking around and it's annoying, in my opinion. So I'm always looking for ways to nerf it legitimately. And so to me, the reason I say undead are immune to illusions, not just invisibility, and I get the point, it's mindless, is because they have lost the illusion, quote unquote, of life. They're dead now. They've torn the veil, basically. And so they don't see it's like the Predator. They see the world differently. And that's why I think illusions don't work to them. That's James. There's no basis for it, but that's why I do it that way. And,
what you're saying,
and I let my players know that. So if you try to cast, and that's why charms don't work, and that's why some of this other stuff, they're not fake. They've seen the world as it is because they're dead.
So, and you extend that to invisibility, then, is
correct.
What you're saying.
Yeah, any illusion, they're not.
Because invisibility is.
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
Right.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I assumed you were actually invisible. You know what I mean?
No.
You think you're creating the illusion of
Well,
stuff.
it's an illusion of school. Excuse me. I shouldn't say it's.
I thought you were actually invisible.
No.
How do you know?
Huh? I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Let me guess. It's in Magic User first, I guess.
Yeah, second level.
Wow. Just second
Yeah,
level.
and that's what sucks. I mean, I'm glad that illusionists don't get it for first level because then it would be more painful.
It's illusion slash phantasm.
Right.
It says to vanish from sight.
Yeah, so to me, it's almost like, again, there's no basis for this as James because I hate invisibility. Basically, undead see in the undead vision, which is life force. That's again, what I say. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that because it doesn't say that they're immune. I would say you can cast illusions that they would work. Well, I'm very pro-illusionist.
Right, you're pro-illusionist. Well, invisibility is the gateway drug to all the terrible illusionist spells. So for me, that's why,
You stop it right there.
Well, I like the idea of illusionists being very powerful against a certain type of thing, which are humans or people with minds. That, and DMs should give the player the benefit of the doubt. But for certain things, if they don't have a compensating sense, like dogs with their carnivorous apes are the classic anti-invisibility thing because they have keen sense and smell.
Does it say that? It say that though?
Yeah, carnivorous apes. Yeah, that's why they're around all the time.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, if you go to hobgoblins have them as basically their watchdogs.
That's hilarious. I know that. So that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, and endlessly learning. It's under apes, right? Not under carnivorous, of course. Apes. The carnivorous ape is a larger, stronger, and very aggressive out of the gorilla. This beast has a fair intelligence. Yeah, I mean, it's as good as many fighters. And is very cunning. It hungers particularly for human... Of course, it hungers for human flesh.
It should be easier if they just wrote things that don't hunger for human flesh.
Yes. So if you're sending in a monster for flipping and turning magazine, I feel pretty confident that Rob is going to reject it unless you indicate that it hungers
for human flesh. Right.
The eyesight of the ape is keen, as is its hearing and sense of smell, so it is surprised only on a roll of 1. If it strikes its opponent with both hands... Wait, it doesn't say anything about that.
Well, it says they have keen hearing and sense of smell, which is what people use, because under detect invisibility, or under invisibility, it says you can still detect these things if you have keen smell or hearing. That's the idea.
Okay, got it. All right.
Because, again, invisibility just makes you not visible. It doesn't stop your foot falling. It doesn't change your smell. It doesn't do any of that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if you're downwind from it, Method asks, can you smell a gnome illusionist a mile off? I think so. All right. So now we're on to Dragon 40. This is our last segment. So this is August of 1980. So we're here.
40 years ago. Gen Con has just finished up.
Right.
Deities and Demigods has been released. It's in Walden Books.
That's right. Or B. Dalton.
B. Dalton. Released at Gen Con. So everyone's very excited. The era of fighting deities has begun.
That's right. Scratching them all out of your book because they're all dead.
Right. The move to try to avoid character level inflation is clearly going away, thanks to including stats in Deities and Demigods.
Right, exactly. So let's see, there's the, they talk about origins, they talk about...
Wait, I want to mention something about origins. Did you read in that where apparently they have this van? What do they have? Or they have a truck?
4-wheel drive Chevy Suburban. It's an SUV.
So they're driving to these conventions.
Yeah.
So the Dragon Magazine crowd, they're hopping in the Chevy Suburban,
with the wizard on the side. Yeah, exactly. With the
wizard on the side, which broke down at some convention. They were just saying, and they're like a band, and they're driving. So they're not even flying.
No, well, of course not. I mean, we've heard their pay salaries. I'm sure.
Right.
You're lucky they had a car. They didn't have to thumb it there.
We need to ask. We need to ask somebody when we have them on about that. We need to remember to ask about the Chevy. Have we had anyone from Dragon other than Tim Kask? We haven't had anyone after Tim Kask from Dragon, I don't think, have we?
No, it's Skip Williams. But he was part of Dragon.
He's not Dragon, right?
But he did Sage Advice.
Oh, that's right. He did Sage Advice. That's right. We should have asked him about about the van. Okay, so yeah, I thought that was entertaining.
Okay, I'm on the contest now, out on the limb. I'm up to that. Do you have this up?
Oh, I don't know. You don't want me putting anything up.
Okay.
I'll use you, right?
Right. No, okay, but so I'm out on the limb, and the one that caught me was 52nd level.
Yeah, apparently so Len Lakofka and Liamon's Tiny Hut had made a reference to a 52nd level character, something like that, or 28th level character. And so people continue to complain about level creep and going up and up and up. And So they sort of, what if I recall, they had to explain away that, well, he was just using it for illustrative purposes or something like that. So
Yeah, basically, yeah. We're trying to hold these level limits, and they're seeing in the Dragon magazines that people have 32 level fighters and everything else. So.
And why was a half elf? Oh yeah, I guess you can. Oh, can half elves be clerics?
They can, but they're very
They
limited.
can actually be PC clerics, right?
They can be PC clerics, yes.
Because wasn't there a triple class?
Yes.
So half elf can be triple class.
Fighter, magic user, cleric, yes.
That's crazy. Why? You move so slow. Okay. So yeah, but they had exceeded the limits. Because the half elf, I think he put 4 in the magazine. Did he say it was a level 4? It's supposed to be level 5, right? It's level 5.
Yeah, I informed the player character would be limited by the player's hand with 4th levels cleric, 6 levels fighter, and 6 levels magic because of their abilities. Their character.
Well, no, cleric is 5. There's no adjustment.
Yeah.
On the half orc is 4.
Even with the asterisks.
There's no asterisk.
Okay.
Or this is footnotes, which is different than an asterisk, which you'll have to decide whether you're using.
Well, it's rules AF. It's both. It depends.
Oh, AF, asterisk and footnotes.
Right.
Got it. So no, there is no footnote there. There's no story there.
I gotcha.
Okay. So yeah, all right. So there was not, there was not a lot jumping out at me with this edition. I got to tell you.
Okay. So but that was the one I thought 52nd level problems I don't have.
Where was Sage Advice? There's no Sage Advice. Did you see a Sage Advice?
I didn't see Sage Advice. No.
That's my favorite part.
I know, seeing the random determinations that are then told they're wrong.
So I was very disappointed to see no Sage Advice.
Maybe Jean was working on. Is that when the Silver Princess was being done, or is that before?
She's probably in the Soul Gem prison.
for making Silver Princess. Yes, and Fighter, Magic User, Thief is the other triple class I think half elves can be.
But I wanted to ask Errol, I forgot, so I got a little bit confused. So he said it was an act of rebellion.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it may have been, right, to do that drawing, right?
Right. Well, he said it's like, not passive aggressive, but active resistance or something to that effect.
But what was the act of resistance about the drawing?
Sticking it to the man.
Wait, how are they sticking it to the man? How is he sticking it to the man?
Well, he was being. I think he was being coy. I could be wrong about the fact that the hermaphrodites were TSR management.
That was what I was going to ask you about, because so I got if he was sticking it to the man, does that suggest that maybe they're supposed to look like?
Well, he was very coy about it. I don't think he wanted to show any controversy, but he did say there was a upstairs, downstairs, Downton Abbey kind of difference between the higher ups, and again, the fact that this company had higher ups. I mean, how many people are in this company? There's like 20 of them.
The org chart isn't that big,
right? I mean, it's like, ooh, every time I hear there's a vice president, this and that, I'm like, they got like 10 people that are working.
Well, it sounds like and maybe what Kevin Bloom, right?
Right. Well, there's a few of them, but yeah, go ahead.
So was it the word comes, don't change anything of this. So I'd gotten confused thinking that he could draw anything he wants, it's not going to be changed. But of course that was wrong. What wasn't supposed to be changed was the text, right?
The adventure.
The Gene Wells. And so the editors, who are all tight, and everyone there's tight, and the artists, they're all tight. And so the editors are so Errol is sort of sticking up for, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what my understanding, yes.
He's sticking up for the editors their hands are being tied, they don't like it. And so he's going to sort of do a bit of an act of rebellion there.
Right.
And so if some of these drawings look somewhat like, might look,
right. Could be,
might have some appearance like some of the people,
right,
the higher ups,
yeah,
including Gary,
right.
So be it.
Exactly.
Right.
It would be like for our, turning and flipping, if they had an illustration of us on a hermaphrodite, let alone a two-headed troll, but hermaphrodite type of creature. That would be Rob and the team sticking it to us.
Right.
Because we're tin ear overlings. Yeah, it must be a Berkeley thing. Exactly. So.
And so it was just so many, and so there was just all sorts of problems. There's the drawings. There's the people. Some people don't like the writing.
Right.
It sounded like it sounded like it was a trash fire.
Right.
Is the way they thought of it anyway. I mean, I don't know.
And then it literally became a trash fire when they said dump it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't comment read Gene Wells' version, or the other version for that matter. So I can't comment. Okay. So, all right, carry on. Sorry, Dragon.
No, it's okay. Dueling Room. Did you read that?
Yeah. I mean, so these are characters are angry at each other, so we send them to the dueling room.
Yeah.
Right. So players get in a fight. But does anyone actually say? So this was about where I say my character can beat up your character, and you're like, Does that actually happen back in the day?
I think it did back when we were teenagers. I think when people would get, I mean, I see it with my kids and my kids, I mean, they're 29, 27, and 18. We'll play this online game with characters. We're supposed to be working together, but like everything, people get greedy or they forget or they get tired or bored, and they start having fun. They play games like, it's like they'll cast, teleport and boop.
Right.
And do stuff that the other character can't do. And so they start fighting with each other. So we did it with kids. Oh yeah, you're not the boss of me, kind of thing.
Well, that is true. I did do that in a playtest of Vic Dorso's game. At the end of it, I cast, I think, suggest on another player character to give me the magic item he had found.
Right.
And then he punched me. He wanted to punch me in the nose. And so, okay. Yeah. So this was an article about ways for characters like that to settle their beefs. It's a duel. You go into these rooms. And
what I liked about it is this could potentially be a version, now I still owe Josh a response. He came up with some rules, which I thought were really good, for our land disputes. Because we need to come up with... how we're going to deal with the land disputes.
Shall we send them to the dueling room?
I like that.
Okay. Well, if it has a connection to something from 1980, I'm in. Okay.
So for those who are looking, please look this over and see what you think. Because again, for those who may not be aware, the Grog Empire, as it's continually increased, we're now having rulers of the Grog Empire, their lands are abutting each other. And or people are trying to make claims for lands that other people are seeing as a threat. So we're trying to figure out a way. So if you're interested in that, you have to be a patron. And B, then go out to Discord to the Grog Empire, and we're going to discuss. I'm thinking sometime by the end of the year we're going to have a tournament, some way to adjudicate this. So it's not going to be every week. It's going to be once a quarter.
It's a race between a vaccine for COVID and this.
Right. The world's,
so a projection is end of the year.
Yeah, the world's priorities. Maybe not in that order. Vaccine or figuring out these disputes. So there was discussion of like using diplomacy. There was discussion about using battle system. I'm leaning more towards something like this, a dueling room or a champion system where, you get 5,000 experience points and 5,000 gold pieces, and you equip your monster or creature any way you want, and that's your champion, and now you go into the dueling room and fight it. So I think that would be super cool.
Okay, good. So you found a use for the dueling room. I'm impressed.
Well, you're welcome. This is what I try to do. So, But we got to finalize that. So probably before we go on the next show, we're going to have to look through. So get on Discord, give your ideas, because then Dan and I will adjudicate how these will get done.
Okay, so what other articles?
Believe it or not, fantasy has reality.
Yeah, none of these articles were so really exciting me. So this was about having things be somewhat realistic in your fantasy. Was this about the other world?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Home areas versus weird areas and that kind of thing. Kind of the idea of, and I'm paraphrasing, kind of like the Shire, and then, that's kind of the normal world, and you, back to your favorite, Tom Bombadil, the Old Forest, that's kind of the way how you, or actually it's the opposite, the Shire is the idyllic world, and then you move through the old forest and you go to the real world.
Right.
This is kind of the version that there should be some transition between these fantasy worlds.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I read that one quickly. It didn't really grab my interest.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next, which I thought was interesting, funerals and other deathly ideas.
That was awesome. That one got me interested. This is great because only in 1E, well, I shouldn't say only in 1E, would you have an article about how to bury your dead.
That's right.
This to me captured the era. This article that not enough attention is being paid to burying dead characters.
Yeah, what happens once you read the Goldenrod will, assuming they filled it out?
Yeah, this was great, and a lot of it was this anti-looting of the body, because that really does happen, of course.
Oh, they're not even cold, and people are stripping them.
Right, and I did like this about taking death seriously. So it was there was two forms of payment that were designed to suck. You know, the players are going to hate it, of course, because again, there's sort of this balance too, this push and pull, right? Where you've got the players accumulating wealth, and then you've got training costs, you've got other ways, taxes. I think they've talked about to try to drain your wealth, and this would be a way to drain your wealth. I like this idea, right? So if a character dies, the payment to the spouse.
Yep.
Assuming you're married.
The widow's share.
Widow share, which was designed to, and then there was the other one too, right? What was it? The something geld.
Weregeld. Yep.
Weregeld. Both what meant to be payments in the event players died, and designed to have two purposes, if I recall correctly. One is to siphon money from the party,
right,
and two, to give them incentive to have a lower mortality rate that you'd have to pay, right? So the poor first level character doesn't want to have to give up a large sum of money to pay the weregeld or the widow's share. And then there was also a lot of talk about how to go about disposing, which I found more entertaining, how to dispose of bodies.
Well, that is funny, but the fact that apparently, because again, this was a different play style, that in previous D&D adventures, it was high-level characters' habit to view first and second-level characters as monster fodder. They'd be forced out front, often at sword point. What is this? I mean, to me, that's hilarious. We would never do that. We played the low-level guys. You keep them in the back but I guess apparently it was like, hey, Bob, no wonder why this game didn't go anywhere. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to play with us? Yeah, roll up your character. Oh, he's first level. Great. Yeah, here's my 7th level wizard and stuff. You get up front.
Yeah, I'm in charge, so you do what I tell you to do. And you need to earn your keep. You go first. Yeah, apparently. Sounds like a fun group to be in.
Sounds horrible.
I mean, you do that with hirelings. You try to do it with hirelings.
Right. Well, and they say no. They say forget it. They run away. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, there is a statement in there. There's no footnote, no support, no citation to authority for the fact that wills are binding on all of the other player characters.
Yes, you would like that. That's right.
Well, that's why you should fill out. I mean, there are, and even if you don't have a will, and so you die intestate, there's probably going to be some sort of law specifying who gets your stuff.
Right.
And so you really, looting is stealing at that point,
Correct.
Isn't it? I think it's stealing.
Well, especially if you have lawful characters, they should follow the cultural norms of the thing.
Yeah, you're going to dispose of the body properly. You're going to take the property back.
Yep.
Hand it over to the authorities.
Exactly.
For them to basically steal.
Yeah. For them to loot. It's legitimate looting. That's the difference.
Right. I did what I was supposed to do. So so I thought that I liked that article. I would actually probably refer players to that article if I started a campaign.
Well, this is a session 0 / the party just needs to figure this out. The DM should put what the cultural norms are. And then this is where hopefully the players are not just complete power gamers, but they actually want to role play a little bit,
Can you imagine if you had somebody who hadn't played 1E before, and you're doing your session 0, and you're like, okay, now let's talk about what happens upon character death.
That's right. Which is probably going to happen within the
Right.
next...
So it's inevitable. Death is just a part of the game. It's inevitable. Let's talk about how you dispose of the body. Let's just get these things off, on the table now. How to dispose of the body, the widow share. So I need to find out if you're married.
Right.
So, all right. So yes, I liked that article.
Well, yeah, and a video. Hi, this is James from Bob's Funeral and Crematorium. Want to talk about a subject that we all know about, but we don't want to speak about. Death. Not your death, your player character's death.
Right. Whoa, not you. You're still alive.
Right. At least for now. Has this happened to you? And then they have the role play, the bad actors from the 80s. Oh, I've been hit by an arrow. And then the paladin jumps on the body. So, what are you doing, Sir Galahad? Oh, well, he's dead. That's not what we should do. Yep, that would be perfect.
I'm taking his gold pieces. No.
I'm holding him upside down, shaking.
Not only are you now a fighter, Mr. Paladin, you are a fighter. Don't let this happen to you.
Exactly. That's awesome. All right.
What you're doing is wrong.
Okay. This is not how it should be done.
Okay.
Then they have an article about Tom Wham.
Yes, it's apparently right. The many different games
that he's written.
He would know probably about the van.
Yes, he would know about the van. So that was semi-interesting, but it's long.
Well, it wasn't 1E really, right?
Yeah, it was just more of a background to this. Right. So then the next one is don't drink this cocktail, throw it, which is about flaming oil, which we do love flaming oil.
But it gives alternative rules for flaming oil.
That's right. So if you don't like that, you don't have to do that.
I'm not a big fan of alternative. I like new NPC classes, new magic items. I'm not a fan of changing the rules. So this was not the kind of thing that I probably would. I like gap fillers.
Yeah.
These are, now critical hits is different because it is against the rules. So that I'm not always consistent there. But so, yeah, I don't know. Have you had parties that just go crazy with throwing flaming oil?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think the rules are confusing, and I've never, we've talked about those rules about when it breaks, and you got the location and the hit. It's long. It's not as bad as grappling.
Right, and I'm still looking for Jason's grappling one because one day we're gonna, before this show is over, we're gonna do unencumbered. We got to do unarmed combat, and
maybe what we should do. That's why we should do the combat between the Grog Empire people, grappling.
Oh God,
they grapple.
That sounds horrible,
doesn't it? We should do it. Okay, so I don't know. Did you find that useful?
Not necessarily. I'm okay with the rules as written. The thing I tend to assume that the oil flasks have been prepared for throwing at any time, that they're basically ready to go. And so really they make a roll to hit. If they miss, you roll DC. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Do they need to make a save to see if they shatter on the saving throw?
No, if they've prepared them, then it shatters.
How do you prepare it to shatter?
Well, they use they put them in special flasks and.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So if it doesn't, So if it shatters, it hits on them. Well, if it hits on them.
That's right.
It shatters.
And it breaks. Yeah, and quote unquote it's flaming because you've propped it to do that. And it's 2 to 12, it's D6. If you miss, you roll a D6 and a D8. The D6 is how far and then the D8 is the cardinal, how, left, right, center. So you just have to know where you're doing. So it doesn't take super long, but I skip the whole rolling the saving throw. If they're throwing it at a pillow, then yeah, I would probably do the saving throw.
Yeah, they're throwing it at a sleeping guy.
Yeah, or if they're throwing it at me in my belly and they hit my belly, yeah, it probably this would be soft. This would be soft. But if they're throwing it at a concrete wall.
Mine's bone.
Right, yours I wouldn't roll. I would just say it automatically shatters. So that's I think that's the only difference I would have.
Yeah. So that didn't. Yeah. So I wouldn't be prone to use that.
Yeah. Well, and one of my players, when he ran, he created Greek fire like from Game of Thrones kind of thing, And it was interesting because the Cobalt Alchemist was making that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. He's setting up the party to have like unlimited napalm. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's right. It should come back at you.
Right. So, well, as soon as they have it, everyone's going to be chucking Molotov
Right.
cocktails at people. So.
Right. And then it becomes World War I trench warfare.
Right. Well, because if I'm a Cobalt, a Molotov cocktail is way better than my attack 1 to 4, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The wolf in your paint pot. I didn't read this.
That was for painting. How to paint a wolf.
Yeah, I don't really paint, so it didn't matter to me. It looked interesting, but I'm a terrible painter. And at Gen Con advertisement, August 21st to the 24th, 40 years ago, it was last week.
Yep, it's done. That was fun.
At the University of Wisconsin, Parkside.
Yep.
$10 to go. I wonder how much it costs now.
Yeah, but you know, $10 you could buy an ice cream cone for a nickel.
True.
Dragon magazine was $3 or something.
Yeah, The Fatal Flaws of Crane. I didn't read
That was
this.
not about AD&D.
It wasn't about AD&D, and we generally don't read those. Then they had Artifacts of Dragon's Past was about RuneQuest. I probably should have read it, but I didn't.
Why?
Huh?
That's RuneQuest.
That's right. Well, sometimes there's interesting ideas you can cross-pollinate. Scroll. Here, the were creatures.
You know, I was excited when I saw that. It's Roger Moore wrote that, correct?
Yep.
I saw, I love Roger Moore. Only Gary's above him in my estimation. I was disappointed, though. I mean, I loved the idea of new were creatures. But
Well, there's one that's
like,
obviously missing.
What?
The were squirrel.
Well, there was a were weasel.
I saw the were weasel. I thought you would be happy about that.
I was angry that the were weasel's chaotic evil or something like that, or parenthetical.
Oh,
I was
let's
angry.
see. Were squeeze.
Why is
Chaotic
a weasel
evil.
so anti-weasel?
Anti-evil.
So what I did now, if you look at, I was very excited about. There's a were badger, I believe.
Yep, were badger.
But it doesn't tell a lot about the different. I don't think it said anything about the different forms of the were badger. The entries were very short. So what I would have liked was much more of a write-up on each of these. I felt like this was just sort of this long list of different were creatures with stats, and I didn't get a lot of flavor for the type of were creatures. It was all very quick. So I ended up being disappointed, right? Like, take a look at where a badger.
Yeah. It's not
Where
much.
does it even say what it's different? Because you want to know, okay, does it have like the were-rat kind of form, right? That I'm like a human-esque big badger, like Bucky the Badger, whoever it is.
Right, for Wisconsin, yeah.
Wisconsin, am I like that? Is he aware, or am I human? Obviously I'm human because I'm both, right? I guess if it doesn't say there's a middle one, I guess all were creatures, you're both the human and the animal.
Right.
And then I guess if it doesn't mention the third,
The
like
hybrid, the
you don't
rat man,
have it.
yeah.
You don't have it. Is that right? Would you agree with that? That means you don't have it
Well,
then?
like werewolf, I don't remember. Maybe they do turn into a wolf. We always think of them as the werewolf, the wolf man, not as the wolf. Maybe.
Yeah, that's right. So I was.
But maybe they can be a wolf. Because we never see them as the wolf. They're always the wolf man or they're a human.
That's true. That's true.
I like the were sloth. That's the next. That's what I'm going to use.
That was okay. Yes, I loved that. So I was excited to see the were sloth. But then, so I'm a human, and then I turn into a sloth. And does it tell me what my size is as a sloth? I don't feel like there's a lot of information.
Oh yeah, werewolves can be, but there's also wool wearers. They can be normal wolves. Okay, so they all have the ones in here have that 3 states: the pure animal, pure human, or the mix. So
the werewolf can have the pure. Okay. Do they all have? Do they all have that?
I guess. Well, I don't. Well, this is Roger Moore, so you'd have to ask him. But I'm saying, I think in the lycanthropes they do.
In lycanthropes, you have all of the humans with the ability to assume animal form. Each type has its own language. But that was just under wolves. But like the wereboar is not.
I don't know.
Wereboars are ugly temper and likely to attack. In their human shape, they're usually timid and irascible. Wereboars So are they is a wereboar just a boar when he becomes a? No, it says size large. So is it just? Whoa! Is it just the picture? The picture of the wereboar, which is amazing. It's a Tramp picture, and the were-rat. Tramp did great jobs on these. Are you just like the were-rats? It actually says, doesn't it? Were-rats would take 3 forms, which would seem to suggest that if you don't say it, you're just 2.
Right.
So is a wereboar just a boar
I don't know.
when they're an animal? I think so, because doesn't it say their animal form? And like a werebear. Let's see.
Well, it says, are humans with the ability to assume animal form during the part they most shape turn to their animal form? Now the question is that animal form the same as their man animal form?
I think so. Like a werebear. Like, I mean, the werebear is Bjorn. Bjorn just turned into a big bear. He wasn't a bipedal
Right.
bear. Though the wereboar seems to be. Well, no, I got to tell you, I think that they're just a. Were-tigers are quite similar to normal tigers in their habitat, and he just looks like a tiger. I think unless you are, it says it. Where did you see it on wolves?
Here, well, they have werewolves are prone to retain bipedal form in their wolf state, but wolf wears wolves who become men always take normal wolf form.
Oh, prone to retain their bipedal form. Oh, so it sounds like they only have 2.
Well, it says prone. Doesn't mean they 100%.
Yeah, so does that mean that, like, you either are that way or not? Or each one can, so you might just be prone, but there's some that can do all 3. Okay, it's confusing.
Yeah.
I think that I think in general it's just 2. So I think that unless it says it, so now let's take if that's true. Let's go to sloth. Now, I guess that's why there's less discussion about them. But so is sloth. What kind of? I just turned into a sloth. That's ridiculous.
I love it.
Am I a giant sloth even, or what does it say?
Sloth. It says you're medium. I don't know. Is a sloth? It's pretty big.
Where's a sloth? We don't have it in the monster manual. It's just a slug.
No,
A slug's not a sloth, right?
No, slug is not a sloth. Sloth is the creatures that move. The sloth, like they're on the Geico commercial. He's doing the Pictionary, and he just wrote half a line.
So where sloth?
Where sloth, they're inoffensive and spend much of their time eating leaves, sleeping. If they gain surprise over an opponent, they will flee 50% of the time, and sit silently otherwise. So if they get surprised, they just
as a sloth. As a sloth state?
Yeah, in their sloth state.
All right. I thought, I was underwhelmed.
It was.
I love the idea of more were creatures, but I didn't like the execution, which is very unusual for me to say on a Roger Moore article.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
Next is giving the undead an even break.
That that was for higher level.
Right.
I don't think that's that big of. Usually, what people do is if you have it's a lot easier. If you have a stronger undead, like let's say you decide you want higher level zombies for whatever reason, they're a special zombie. You just say they turn on a higher table.
Right. Well, his example is this was the highest table. You still have a 5% chance, but this was 8%. Yeah, you would just say he would act as a lower level cleric. That's right.
Oh, I missed that. Does this always give you a chance to turn even like the highest level?
No, you're right. I forgot. This was 8th level. He was saying 8th level cleric has a chance. I think an 8th level cleric should have a chance, but maybe it's not a 10% chance. Maybe it should just be a 5% chance.
This is one of my beefs. I've said this before with the I do not like the turning table. I think that you should always. I don't care if you're a first. So what's the worst form of undead? Lich.
Yeah, lich, special lich, demon.
Okay.
Yep.
I think even a first level, and I know we're going to get a lot of hate mail. People are going to disagree with this. I think even a first level cleric should have a shot on a 20. It should be like the hit table. On a 20, should turn. I don't care if it's a 20 and then I got to roll another 20. Whatever. I think you should always have a shot. I don't like any of this automatic, and I think that the highest level cleric should always have a chance to fail on turning a lowly skeleton. I don't like, because you write an adventure for 4 to 6 level, and you don't want to put in their skeletons because you know that they're automatically turned, correct? I mean, there's
Right.
nothing interesting about that then. There's no chance. So even with like a kobold, there's a chance that the kobold gets a lucky shot and cause you can throw in 5 kobolds, and it could cause the party of 4 to 6 possibly some problems. Maybe. Unlikely. But you can cause some damage, who knows. But with the turning, you don't have that ability at the outer edges. So
Well, but if you're going to do that, then you have to do it that any evil cleric can turn a paladin. That's the other thing you have to be.
why
I'm just saying it's good. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I agree with that. I like that. So I would redo the turning table more like a saving throw kind of table,
Right.
And then if your minus so much, it's maybe automatic, well, not automatic because you're rolling, but you turn them to dust, you destroy and stuff like that. So yeah. So
Either that or, I would, if they've been particularly pious, give them the divine intervention that they can turn at a higher level.
the Kirin didn't do divine intervention.
I know. I said we weren't going to do that. No.
When did you say that?
I said it. You can go back to the video. I'm like, he's not doing it because he didn't get killed. He didn't die. No one died.
I rolled a 15
That's
anyway.
Okay. That's good. Ooh.
I wouldn't do it, right?
That's right.
Huh?
No, I don't think so.
No, 10%. No, not in the abyss. A Kirin in the abyss?
So Jonathan asks, so should a fighter with a normal sword have a chance to hit a creature only with a magical weapon? In other words, if you're fighting a wraith or whatever it is, or lycanthrope, I think you need silver or +1 weapon. Let's say you don't have a silver weapon. Should you always have a chance to hit one of them? That's what he's asking.
Oh, well, why would I not have a chance? When wouldn't I have a chance?
Because the rule is if you don't have a +1 weapon, you can't hit certain creatures. You can't hit an elemental unless you have a +2 weapon.
Oh,
He's extending your logic, is basically.
Oh, I see. So if I don't have a magic weapon,
right,
should I always have
a chance to hit?
No, I mean, was there something
Hypocrite.
different going
Next,
on? Huh?
Never mind. Go ahead.
No, I don't. I get that. That to me is like you that you need, like, there's something about them that you need that magic weapon, right? I mean, we could do a whole thing on that. No,
Sure.
if I'm high enough level, I can, right?
No,
High enough
technically not. I mean, it talks about hit dice. It doesn't talk about levels of things. So that's a little different story.
Oh, you mean a character? So I don't get that same benefit.
If you're
if I'm a high
17th level and you don't have a magic weapon, so sad, too bad. It doesn't
work.
Well, I'll have to read it again because we read everything. That's what's great about the show. We have to reread everything with fresh eyes.
This can be a person's first episode and last.
Yeah, they'll be like, holy God almighty, what are they talking about here?
I mean,
so go into the...
I understand that there's not... That doesn't mean that you should always have a chance to do everything all the time.
Yeah, so here, yes, I was correct. Yay, for once. Page 75.
Yes.
Creatures struck on the DMG. Creatures struck only by magic weapons. Despite special dimensions protect certain creatures from attacks by non-magical weapons, these monsters can effectively be hit by attackers as follows. So +1 defense, or you need to be 4 +1 hit dice. There's the asterisk, rules AF.
Oh, there it is. This does not apply to characters of any sort. It's so rude. Gary is always he always seems angry.
Right. No, you don't get that.
He loves his adjective. He just seal it all off.
That's right. None.
What about none?
Yeah, so if you're 17th level and you against the elemental, if you don't have no magic weapon, you're screwed.
All right, let me restate that. Okay, let me say yes. Okay, I agree that maybe at a certain point there should be no chance, but I would like to see those scales a little bit more slopey.
It's already skewed in the cleric's favor. I mean, it progresses pretty rapidly. I mean, in fact, he talks about that.
It's crazy, and so
he talks about how powerful, how quickly it ramps up.
4th level, and I understand 4th level is actually a high level. Whether people want to believe it or not, it is. You automatically turn a skeleton. You automatically turn skeletons into zombies at 4th level. that to me is not very exciting. So I'm doing so you're 4th level. I'm doing an adventure levels 2 to 4. The cleric's 4, or 1 to 4. The cleric's 4, and he's just turning every. Does that? But do I just do the number of turn? Just that there's a number that I turn.
Yeah, it's only a number.
Right.
And other ways to get around it is if you do mixed turning. So what I like to do is have some ghouls with some skeletons, because the way I read the turning is you have to turn the lower, unless they're being controlled by the leader undead, you turn the lowest ones and then you move up. So I want to turn the ghoul. No, that's not how it works. You have to turn the skeletons first, then you turn the zombies, then you turn the ghouls.
Right. And do they, when they come back, if I have automatic turning, do I automatically turn them again? So you just keep turning them? They just keep coming back?
Yeah.
So I turn the skeleton. Yeah, automatically.
Well, you turn them automatically and you roll a certain amount that you turn. But you may not turn all of them.
Let's say I turn all of them.
Yeah, then they flee.
Leave for a certain amount of time.
Correct.
But then when they come back, do I just turn them again automatically?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm more troubled by not having a chance to turn. I think like 1st level, I would rather see like a lot of more, like the combat tables on level 1 cleric. I'd like to see like a ghast and a wraith get a 20 and a 20 as well, perhaps, you know. But what else? Okay.
Well, I would just do divine intervention at that point and at least give them a chance. It's actually a better chance than.
That's right. You're so wimpy, a cleric. You have a better chance of divine intervention than turning that wraith.
Right. Do the divine intervention and you pray for turning. That's all. So now you have a 10% chance, and that's in the rules. So you solve that problem. You don't have to do this giant thing.
10% chance of being sent something.
Well, I'm going to expand it that you get some aid. It's
a kirin.
Yeah, that's right. A small pet.
Well, yeah, you get. Oh, I see. You get some aid, like a chance of turning.
Right,
or something.
like
So
it's the
animal.
Well.
I don't know. I'll say small. It doesn't actually say small.
It says an example. That's an example of that. Correct. The help that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, straight 10% that some creature will be sent to his aid. Okay.
Yeah, and that's all it says.
So the creature could be an 8th level cleric.
Well, that's true. Where are you at? What page?
On the deities and demigods.
Oh, okay. Because it's also in. That starts in
DMG as well. Yeah, I went back to the.
Yeah, it's where.
That's on page 9 of the deities and demigods. So. The Deities and Demigods is really a good book. I mean, I haven't read. We kind of just look at the hit stats, but those first 15 pages in the last book is really good. People should.
Every cleric should be required reading for every cleric to read that part. So all right, but I'm probably going to stick with the turning tab. I'm not going to. It's not the kind of article that appeals to me. That's just changing by the book. I don't like the cleric turning table very well, but I don't think it has enough of a problem. It's not so broken that I would want to actually replace it. I have a pretty high standard for replacing or ignoring.
All right, so I skipped the Top Secret, though Top Secret's a great game. Next is Oriental Magic Items, which is interesting, and Bazaar of the Bizarre, this is under, and Helms of Changes, so...
Helms of Change is mildly entertaining. I like the one, I think it was an Ed Greenwood helm, where it causes the victim to repeat the same action that they just did. They keep repeating it. So I guess you want to cast it at a point in time when they've done something.
Oh, that's Nildis Wand of Endless Repetition.
Oh yeah, right. So that I thought that was entertaining. So that was funny. I didn't, the Oriental. I didn't ever used Oriental Adventures, so I didn't. So Oriental items wouldn't be of great interest to me.
Yeah, but always looking for different things, because again, that's the challenge. Everyone's played D&D. If they're an old school player, they know all the magic items. They know them better than you. Throw something new out. That's always fun. Okay, about other stuff. I'm only looking for the D&D specific.
Well, did you see the request for priests, real life clerics to write in?
Tell their I just see this.
Read that. That was great.
Okay, so I forgot about this.
Not that long. Right.
If you're a player of D&D or AD&D who's also a member of the clergy or of any organized religion, or if you're a layperson who knows of such an individual, TSR is seeking opinions and observations about the games from members of the clergy or players or dungeon masters, or from men and women who have careers in association with religion, possess firsthand knowledge of the game's helpful, positive influence to those who play. Personnel at TSR will communicate the information received from the clergy to the wholesale and retail business around the world, which market D&D and AD&D game merchandise. The merchants will pass this information received and prospective purchasers of the game materials. Observations may be submitted in any form the respondent desires. The important thing is to respond regardless of how much you have to say or how well it's worded. And then they give the address. So I wonder if they're still taking things at P.O. Box 756, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
So this was just hilarious to me. So obviously, they're trying to fight the satanic panic. And so,
on page 49,
right?
Buried in the thing.
Yeah. Right? And so I would love to know how many, right?
Should ask Tim Cass this.
Well, he was gone by this point.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
This would be Jake Chicat.
Yeah, we'd see.
Right.
Yeah, we'd have to ask Jake, someone like that.
So that would be great. I just have this image of a cardboard cutout, life-size cardboard cutout of a priest in Walden books. Yeah, saying, I play D&D every Sunday.
That's
something
right.
like that.
After Mass, I've trapped the soul of the various creatures. Yeah, I'm a 20th level archmage who goes through the market and traps souls.
I battle evil.
That's right. I only fight the good guys.
That'd be funny if the priest was like a lawful evil character.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I gets it out of my system.
Well, that's so I had my youngest son was going to a youth group. And the youth pastor, he's like, hey, you want to play? I said, hey, I'll run a game because we played board games. I was like, hey, do you want to play D&D? Sure. He's like, I'm like, what alignment are you going to be? Lawful evil. I'm like, you're going to be lawful? He's like, yeah, I have to be good all the time. I want to be lawful evil. So yeah, it's very cathartic.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's a letter.
That's right.
You could have written that.
I couldn't write. I'm not part of the clergy. I could have said.
I know, but you had an experience with one.
This was 4 years ago. It's a little late, but.
Well, you said the P.O. box may still be.
That's right. I have to send it. Hey, are you still worried about this? Bring back the demons.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see down the road if any of this gets used. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. So keep going. What was this about? Oh, fantasy. That fantasy. So now a lot of these are the back part of the articles.
Yes, it drives me crazy.
Which is super annoying.
I hate it. It is super annoying, isn't it? Continued on page. Why do they do that? I don't understand the purpose of that. It drives me crazy. Yeah,
they did some reviews. I think the last thing is the monster thing, the bestiary.
None of those monsters I thought were very interesting.
Fire-eyed lizard, meh.
He's a fire-eyed lizard.
The flit.
Well, one of them hates magic and would come and try to get your magic. Didn't a creature like that make it into the Monster Manual 2, perhaps? Weren't there these creatures that come, they sense magic?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah. They were the ecologists. I think that was in Fiend Folio, actually.
Okay. Because that's interesting, because here we're seeing an earlier version of that, something similar, right? Didn't this creature hate magic and would come and try to take your magic items?
Yes, that's right. The flit, I think it's the flitty or flit.
It's not the same thing, is it?
No, it's a different creature. This animal's sole purpose in life is to reduce the amount of magic. Whereas the creatures we were talking about, I think it's in the Fiend Folio, they lived on the ethereal plane and magic was causing ecological damage there. So they were ethereal eco warriors.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I'm trying to remember which one it was,
but they're like earwigs. They have a purpose. Correct.
That's right. Well, nature abhors a vacuum.
That when they're designed to reduce magical power.
The Terrathran. That's the one we did. The Terrathran. Okay. And they come to the prime material plane because they notice mad disturbances that come from magic users responsible in the prime material plane doing magic.
So that was magic users using magic.
Right. This is just general magic in general. Or
What did the Terathan do to the magic user?
he took them away. Remember, he imprisoned them.
Oh gosh.
He would take them away and steal them.
That's really bad. Putting a soul gem.
Right. Soul gem. Yeah, basically imprisoned them.
Right. So you use the soul gem, and you're like, ha ha ha, and then the Terathan's like, what the hell's going on?
There's a great disturbance in the force, and they carry you back.
So you got the guy in the gem. The Terathan comes and grabs you. This other one he takes magic items. Does he do like suggestion or something? Like give me your
something
stuff?
like that. It's a huge write-up.
Yeah. All right.
Again, to me, this is homebrew. I wasn't too super thrilled.
No, it wasn't a great group of monsters. And then there was an index, the first index.
Right, the index, yeah. Big index of stuff.
Which it would have been nice from some of my interviews for me to have known that existed, but whatever. Now I know.
Exactly. All right, that was basically, and there was a little game, King of the Tabletop. It looks interesting, but I don't know how you play it. I guess there's rules. All right, that was Dragon. That was Dragon 40.
Yep, 40 years ago this month.
All right.
All right,
So I think we are ready for a D10, and we're ready to call this. 3 hours. Look at us.
All right.
Going to be done before lunch. Give us a D10.
All right. That's a 1. I think that's accurate.
God.
We had no guests.
We had no guess. We suck.
Yeah, that was bad. All right. It's our worst episode ever. Fine.
No, I think the last time we no guests, it's a 1. Basically, the dice are saying, you're not interesting enough. You better get some guests.
You need guests. All right. Fair enough. The dice have spoken. I'll work on that. People need to let me know who they want. I don't know who to get.
Well, we have some people coming in October, hopefully. If that works out, that'll be super fun. If you have ideas for guests, let us know. We have some things in the work, but those things take a while.
Thing in the work.
Yes, we have a thing in the work. But yeah, again, we kind of go back and forth. Huh?
And if you know people, because many of our listeners have been very helpful.
Right.
Right. Leroy's been very helpful. Right.
Right. He got Jason on. And
Ed Greenwood.
And Ed Greenwood. Absolutely.
So if people know people or have connections, help us out and say, hey, you should be on, would you like to be on Grog Talks if you have connections with any of these people. I've reached out to some people. I haven't heard back. I think sometimes people don't always check their stuff. I don't know. Maybe they're ignoring us, but so there's people we reached out to. Some have said no, which I understand completely. And some have said yes, and I think are just busy. And I think some.
Let's see. Well, Roger Moore, I don't think he does interviews anymore.
I'm very disappointed about that. If we could get Roger, that I would really want to. I would love to have Roger Moore. And I don't think Roger Moore's. He's out. I think he doesn't do. I think he doesn't. He's not involved in gaming anymore. So I think that's a no.
John Peterson.
Yeah, is that Playing at the World?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love.
Someone knows him. Darlene, we'd love to have Darlene on. So.
Does somebody know John Peterson? Is that what they're saying?
Well, they're suggesting people.
I can ask. John Peterson would be great. Darlene would be great. I mean, Darlene was on Carlos's show. So Darlene would be great. Okay. These are good ideas.
Some of it is if we reach out to them and we don't have any connection to people, it's sometimes it gets, it's like everyone's email. They just go ignore, delete. So
I would like to have Len Lakofka on the show.
Right.
If anyone has a connection with Len Lakofka, I'd love to have Len on the show.
Yep. Those would be great folks, but it's hard when we don't have a connection to them because they get requested from a lot of folks. And Dan, to his credit, he is very dogged. And you have your people that you like as well. So give us some ideas, info@grogcon.com, or put on Discord or Twitter your ideas. And if hit them up if they're on social media. Say, hey, why don't you get on Grog Talk? And we'd love to have them on. The criteria is they have to have an old school nexus. They either have to, like John Pearson, he's wrote about role playing, so that's fine. Or they did something back in the day. Again, we're not 5e bigots or anything, but it's just that's not what we do. So we don't have that history. Yeah, it'd be great if, some of these modern people are on, but we don't have that. They'd have to come on to talk about old school gaming, because that's what we're about. All right, so with that, I think we're done for today. So we will see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, same time, right? 8 o'clock, correct?
Correct.
And we still need to talk at some point about doing the Greyhawk Con. So maybe next weekend we can work on that, because once we post the game, hopefully you guys will come play with us in the first week of October over there in Greyhawk Con. So for Grog Talk, I'm James.
I'm Dan.
And we will see you next time on Grog Talk. Take care.